Hello, everybody. Welcome to Unscripted Access, episode number 112. We are back, the very first episode of 2015. On this week's show, I have Anthony Ta.
Hello.
And Bronson Fiore.
Happy New Year!
All right. So before we go ahead and start what we generally cover in our podcast, I hope everyone had amazing holidays, a happy New Year. 2015, TJ's gonna be doing it big. We're arranging a lot of things, and we hope to continue succeeding and driving the website even further. The past couple years, we've been pretty successful, but we're not even close to satisfied. So, thank you guys for your support. And before we continue, let's go ahead and talk about best moments of the year. Obviously in gaming, but in the realm of gaming, let's kind of talk about what the most amazing moments were for the year for us, and kind of what we see happening in 2015. I would say for me personally, I think the best moment 2014 was having everyone at the time.
Everyone at the time.
Everyone
yes.
at the time at E3, which was pretty amazing. We had that at a CES before, but there's this miscommunication. It didn't quite work out how we wanted it to. And we're a gaming site. So, yeah, we love to go to CES, but E3 is the bread and butter. That's the big event of the year. And to be able to get all of us to E3 was amazing. Seagate, who sponsored us, was more than happy with what we did, and anyone who watched our coverage, I'm sure they would agree. I mean, you gotta look at how many people we have, our resources, and then look at our output, and then look at your other sites that have larger budgets, they're backed by huge companies, they have all the resources and equipment they need, and look what they produce. Obviously, they produce more than us, but look at what we were able to produce with what we have.
16 video interviews.
16 video interviews in 3 days. And they were all released on pretty much the day.
All produced from our very luxurious workstations. And by that, I mean the floor of Nick's apartment.
Let me tell you.
The sacrifices we make to give you content.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting this next year, E3, but obviously we can't elaborate on that much because we're in the early planning stages.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be interesting because one obstacle is definitely going to be the internet now, because I live in Irvine, which anyone that's familiar with California, Irvine, without traffic, is probably about 45 to 50 minutes to downtown LA. So obviously I will not be staying in my apartment, and we won't have access to my internet. Hotel internet is usually very suckish.
Well, this is where we have to apply some math. Is the time that we spend driving all the way back there better than hotel Wi-Fi, which promises to be good?
Well, not only that, but I've heard of some publications doing this, which is there's a bunch of student housing by USC that's vacant during the summer, and you can rent that shit out by the month or by the week. So that is an option.
Well, I'm actually, because of my job that pays me, I'm actually super close with USC, so I could actually contact them, and they might be able to work that out for free. But anyways, blah, 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 moving along. We're not going to talk too much more because, like I said, there's a lot of planning and a lot of things.
We could potentially have PAX East to think about, not even E3 yet.
Yeah,
so.
Maybe. We'll see what happens. It all depends. Like I said, unfortunately, we don't have a ton of money coming into the website, so we are pretty much relying on sponsorships from companies. So if any companies are listening and want to potentially sponsor us for PAX East or E3, you can reach me at admin@thegamerx.com.
Just to throw this out there to you companies who are considering this, December, we reached over 1 million unique visitors.
Wow.
Something to think about. And you can just go to Quantcast and look at it.
Which I am pretty sure sets a record for our site. I don't think we've ever hit.
I'm not joking. More people have watched our E3, watched our Game of the Year top 10 list, the personal top 10 list, than any of our E3 interviews. Not joking.
And this is an 8-man unfunded team that does this. That's what I love. Like, this is 8 people completely unfunded doing this shit in their free time.
Even with 8 people, not even all 8 are being utilized yet. So let's keep that in mind too. So we have some new staff members who are kind of brought on, and we'll see more from them this year. But they haven't even been fully utilized yet. Talking about who's being fully utilized, it's more like 4 and possibly 5 people.
Yeah, like the thing is, when you bring new staff members on, when it's like the busy season, like we had that panel at Snafu, and then we had all the new releases, and then Game of the Year. It's like it's really hard to get anyone integrated or anything fucking organized during that time period. But yeah.
But thank you all for the support. Like we always say, it would not be possible if it wasn't you guys first of all coming to our site in the first place. But then spreading the word, sharing stuff, like it's kind of that viral effect. Like you may say, "Oh, I only have 200 Twitter followers. That's nothing." But let's say maybe 3 or 4 of those Twitter followers like what you tweeted, and they tell their friends, and their friends tell their friends. So this guy who only had 200 followers, maybe by the end of the day. Well, not in the saying, not literally by the end of the day, but at the end of it all, should have said, may have been passed on to a couple hundred, maybe a couple thousand people. So,
speaking of which, follow the Gamer Access on Twitter. Like yes. I run our Twitter now, and like, yeah, come on.
Yes, we are. It's simple. The Gamer Access. That's our Twitter. You can also check out our Facebook page. If you type in the Gamer Access Facebook, it will come up. So look for us there as well. But yeah, I would say for me, I guess the biggest, and just gaming in general, like this isn't just for the site, just gaming in general, the big thing for me was having everyone at E3. Because this was the very first time for everyone besides me. I mean, this was like my 4th or 5th E3. I can't even keep track anymore. But for Kyrie, Bremen, Anthony, and Bronson, very first time at E3. And to have all of them at E3 for the very first time, they've never been there before. Obviously, I knew that they would be going nuts because I remember my first E3. Now I had the limo and everything, so mine was a little bit more over the top. And I was with 3 very attractive women the entire time. So So I guess mine might have been a little bit more over the top. And at the time, I was, I think, just turning 16. First time out in LA. It was unbelievable experience. I will never forget. Like, just straight up, we'll never forget. Like, I seriously thought I was living a dream. But
you are 16 at E3 with limo service and 3 attractive women. I'm sorry, like that is probably the only time E3 has ever seen that.
Oh yeah, and
because like
you guys saw the limousine video, I was not humble about it at all. Like here I am, arriving at the Microsoft press conference, hanging half my body out the top of the limousine, filming, screaming at the top of my lungs. I'm at E3. I was so freaking stoked. Like, oh man, because I grew up on E3 and watching those press conferences on TV, but actually being there and it's your first time and you're just like, that's like the first step of like, shit, I fucking made it. Like, because I remember, now this goes before Anthony and Bronson were even on the site, before the, what was your guys' site? You were called the Gamecraft. That's it. Sorry, it's been so long. Gamecraft. So
no, it's still in the name of the Gamecast.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Gamecast. The only thing left, really. Of course, you can also go to our really, really, really old website.
Yeah, like
with the
you really
.webs
want
moniker.
Yeah, ran off of a .webs.
But yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, essentially. I forgot already. Gamecraft, right? Gamecraft. So essentially, it was kind of like a merger. Like Gamecraft became a part of the Gamer Access. Was it 3 years now?
It's going to be 4 years next month.
February. Yep.
4 years next month.
4 years.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, like at first we were just gonna like contribute stuff, and then it was just like, Well, like Nick wants to like just bring us on full time, and like we had to have that discussion. We're like, yeah, this is a great idea, so let's do it.
I bet you guys don't regret it now.
No.
Oh yeah, I don't regret it at all.
But so yeah, but before then, this was before that ever happened. I remember the very first time I was invited to E3. I was 15 at the time. So if you guys do the math, I am young. I'm not going to say my age, but I'm relatively young. So I was 15 when I started the Gamer Access. And here I am with this website. And I mean, the thought of E3, like going to E3 was something that would be like that was my goal. Like if I make it to E3, I'll be happy in life. Like that was my goal. And here I am later, and I've been there 5 times. But anyways, to go to E3 would be amazing. Now, obviously, get back then, it wasn't as hard. It was still hard, but it wasn't as hard to get into E3. Now they're super strict and very limiting, and that's mainly because Spike came in and they get all the exclusive stuff, and they work very closely with the E3 people, and they limit it very strictly. Just to give you an idea, like what the website gets in traffic now in a day was back then more than we were getting in an entire month. What day we're getting more than back then in an entire month?
I think
it might even be close to a half a day being more than a month. Like we're pulling traffic. Don't get me wrong, but not much. Like I said, this was before Bronson and Anthony were with the site. So here I am, and I get an invitation to go to E3, and I was so unbelievably stoked. But wait, no, I wasn't. Sorry, I was not. I was 16 at the time, not 15, 16. 16 at the time, and this is a website I started by myself. I didn't have anyone funding it for me. I learned how to, at the time, it was WordPress. This was before Joomla.
Oh,
how
WordPress.
to build with WordPress by myself. Even with Joomla, this stuff that we don't have the resources to hire web developers. This is coming from either my wallet or my sweat equity in figuring out how to make shit work. But got invited, and oh man, I was literally, you'd be amazed. I mean, imagine when you guys were 16 being invited to E3, how stoked you were. That's what I was, and so excited. And the biggest, sharpest, most ripe dagger stabbed me right in the heart when I learned that E3 was for you can only go to E3 if you're 17 or older.
Which actually, that was only a recent thing apparently. If I was listening to the Giant Bombcast, and apparently fucking several editors there went when they were 16. So that shit changed over time.
Yeah. So here I am, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make this work. So I emailed a person after a person after a person. I got up to the point where I was emailing the director, this is the head honcho of E3, and me and him are actually pretty cool now. But up to the head honcho of E3, and I wrote a personal. I'm not talking about sent him an email. Yes, I sent him an email first, but I hand wrote a letter and had it mailed to his office. Okay, and just writing my experience, hey, this is something I did from the ground up, and I was like, hey, I can have my dad come out with me, and he will be with me 24/7, and all that stuff. So if it's an issue with me not wanting to play M-rated games, we can completely avoid that section, but like I said, I'll have my dad with me. And no matter what I did or said, they did not allow it. It was, I can't even tell you guys, it was the biggest dagger to the heart. We did end up having a couple guys go, though, and we had coverage. Obviously, nothing like what we're pulling now, but had a couple guys go, and they did their coverage, and it was all right. But yeah, then the following year, it was unbelievable. Like I said, first time at E3, first time going to LA, limousine service everywhere, 3 beautiful women going everywhere. It was unbelievable, something that you would see on reality television. I lived that moment for a week, and it was unbelievable. It's something I'll never forget. So for these guys, obviously, we did not have the limousine and the 3 beautiful women with us all the time, but to be able to experience E3, I knew what that experience was like, and it's just the thing is the press conferences are the day before the E3 show floor opens, and just to walk in there, you're just so excited because it's stuff you've seen on TV for years, but to actually be there in person is so.
I will say the press conferences were definitely the highlight for me as far as like actually being there. Like I love playing Bayonetta 2. I loved making Bremen feel awkward by making him play Dance Central on camera with me. Like that was all that stuff was really great. Like seeing some of those games early was really awesome. But like those press conferences, actually being there was just fucking amazing. What's actually funny about this upcoming E3 is, okay, so Anthony, I know you're aware of the Zelda Symphony of the Goddess, right?
Yes.
All right, so the day before day 0 of E3, so Sunday, that is happening.
Ooh.
They usually do that. I don't know if they did it last year, but I know a couple years ago they had.
Probably want to get our tickets really early because I'm pretty sure everyone around the world is thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, they're not on sale, but like the second they are, dude, we need to pull the trigger on that.
Freaking just get the whole staff over there.
Dude, Nick, you down for a Zelda concert?
Sure.
Yeah,
let's get in town. Sure.
Yeah, like that's
just
perfect.
like go do that, have a nice dinner, which is the only nice dinner we get before we
live off McDonald's and sandwiches out of a cooler.
Yeah. For the next 4 or 5 days. Yeah.
Yeah, like I say, like I managed to peel off for one extra dinner during E3, but even
hopefully
then,
with this experience we can pack more efficiently.
Yeah, like
and now that I actually have a fast laptop, I don't have to bring a frickin' desktop all the way down there.
Yeah, and then so I'm planning to buy a tablet before then, like just an iPad, and like I'm considering using that as my word processor for all my writing, so we can throw another video editor on my laptop as well. So we have 3 i7 laptops, rendering videos instead of just 2. But obviously we'll have to see. Oh man. But no, as for like the year as a whole, like 2014, like are we talking about like moments that happened that were news and stuff we experienced, or like actual,
just in the entire gaming industry, what moments stand out?
Well, obviously going to E3, and then like this weird revival of the Wii U, right? Like the Wii U is just this console that just felt so middle of the road, dead in the water, and then just like this year, it just fucking exploded. Like, I know so many people who bought Wii U's and are planning to buy Wii U's because of this year. Like Hyrule Warriors, Donkey Kong, Mario Kart, Smash.
It definitely had the best year out of all the consoles for sure.
Freaking, no, like, you look at the PS4, it's got Infamous and an
add-on for Infamous.
An add-on for Infamous, or is it like its own separate game?
It's its own separate game. You can play it.
Okay, so you have Infamous, something from Infamous, and a car game. That's it. Was
that really it?
We literally checked the entire releases for PS4 exclusives, and that's all we could find for the top 3. There's like probably a few others, but it was alarmingly bad.
I mean, Little Big Planet 3 was on PlayStation 3 as well, but
but it's not an exclusive.
That's not exclusive. Yeah, and that game didn't benefit super much from being on PS4.
At that point, that's pretty much saying like you can't count Forza Horizon 2 or Titanfall. Well, definitely not Titanfall. Titanfall
We did.
Because Forza Horizon 2 was on the 360 as well.
Oh wow, we fucked up then.
Crap.
We'll fix that mistake next year. But we did make sure about Titanfall. We were right about that one.
There was a PC beta, so I knew so it's pretty easy to figure that one out.
Considering we filmed the PC version.
We filmed it for 60-minute access. We didn't actually film the regular version, actually. We thought about it, but we didn't do it.
It took me forever. It's just because, by the time we were, thinking about capturing Titanfall, real games were coming out. Infamous came out, also they put out that patch to fix the stupid PS4 HDCP protection. So,
Yeah. But that was kind of fun. Optimus Technology working its butt off to ensure that Titanfall didn't run on the correct graphics card.
That was funny. That was really fun. That was really funny. no matter what I would do, I fucking could not get that game to boot with the right video card. And what I had to end up doing is going into the video card settings and set it like every time you boot this executable, you only run it with the right video card. God damn it. Yeah, that was annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Nintendo's big turnaround and just how fucking insane amiibos are to get, right? Like I said,
you
like,
still can't find a Captain Falcon amiibo, and it's been a month.
Fuck. No, I can't. I can't find Captain Falcon, Little Mac, like just any of the ones I actually want besides Mario. And of course, they're gonna make a million Marios. Speaking of Nintendo, we might as well use that to branch into news, unless
I didn't even get to talk about my year yet.
Oh yeah, sorry, fuck.
Seriously, I'm right here.
Yeah, sorry. The amiibo stuff, that was just fucking insane. Like, I saw, like, a pack of the rarest amiibos, which is, like, Villager, Wii Fit Trainer, Captain Falcon, Marth, and Little Mac, sell on eBay for $400.
That's nuts.
And I'm just like, the fuck? Nintendo, just make more. I want to give you my money.
And Nintendo does it on purpose, though.
They do short ship on purpose, but it's still really, like... But the thing is, though, is this doesn't help them. Like, I want to give them my money. Let me do it, please.
Because Nintendo sold it all at $13.
It's part of that, like, psychological thing where people want what they can't have. So people might think, oh, I didn't want this amiibo thing, but they hear, oh my gosh, it's flying off shelves. You can't find these characters. People are like, oh shit, I gotta get it. Like, it's kind of like that psychological thing.
I was at Walmart.
Done that with more amiibos, really.
Well, yeah, like, the thing is, by now they should have printed more if that was the case.
But they're too busy printing the February batch. Oh no.
Which is already pre-ordered out the ass. Like, so I wanted to get all the characters I main in Smash Brothers, which is Ike, Little Mac, Captain Falcon. Okay? All three of those are going to be rare as hell.
You don't want the Wii Fit character?
Not, like, I don't really enjoy that character.
The Wii Fit character is absolutely awesome in Brawl. It's just, the new Smash. It's hilarious to watch.
It's hilarious to watch. I don't find him to be that good of a fighter, though.
Still,
like,
the animation
What moves does he have?
Yoga. He fights with yoga.
Oh my gosh.
He or she, depending on which skin you choose.
It's great.
It's funny. It's really cool to see. I like all the characters I main though are just super rare, except for Mario.
Because didn't they come out with a Wii Fit amiibo?
Yeah, they did. They're doing one for every character in Smash.
I doubt anyone's buying. I doubt they're gonna sell many of those.
Those are the hardest to get.
Well, maybe that's why they're doing it, because now people want to get them because they're rare.
Yeah, like that's.
Well, the thing is that I kind of feel like two things could happen. Either they're doing it on purpose, which may or may not make sense. The way that they're having them being made is kind of screwed up, which is the factory can't just say, okay, guys, we're making Marth now, and then they have to okay, and then they just throw Marth related bits back on the assembly line and make Marth. Yeah, but instead they're probably tasked with getting the February stuff done and then getting the June stuff done or whatever. And then once all that is done, then they'll think, okay, maybe we can finally retool our line to make more Marths.
Yeah, because this shit is, I'm not paying $60 for one of these. It's just not happening. Because I can buy, big, real figures that I have on my desk right now for $60. And it sucks. Especially if you like a kind of obscure character, like Anthony Main's Marth. And he likes Marth.
Lucina. Link and Lucina.
Lucina is going to be so hard to find when she comes out.
Yeah, Fire Emblem Awakening is that popular.
All the Fire Emblem characters are going to be just a bitch to find. Who else is hard to find? There are some that are definitely hard to
almost everything that came out after the initial batch.
Even the initial batch, there are characters that are hard to find. Fucking Diddy Kong's a pain in the ass. Shulk isn't out yet, but he's all the Shulk pre-orders are already taken. You cannot pre-order Shulk.
It reminds me of how, Cars, the Disney movie Cars, when my brother was much younger. Obviously, this is when the first Cars came out. The Only Good Cars was the first one. But when that came out, and they came out with the little toy cars, my brother loved those things to death, and pretty much the only ones you could get were Lightning McQueen. All the other ones were pretty much next to impossible to find, and people were selling them on eBay. No joke. Some of these were going... Well, obviously, no, Mater, you could find Mater, too. But besides Lightning McQueen and Mater, who are the main characters, literally, some of these things were going on sale on eBay for like $70-$80 for a toy that goes for like $4.
Yeah. Okay. So amiibos are $13, and I'm on Amazon right now. I'll just tell you the ones that are overpriced and not the ones that aren't. Marth is $40
for a Japanese import.
Yeah, Link is $16. Captain Falcon's $33. Pit is $35.
So they're not too out of line then.
That's still nuts to me. Like, so, let's see, Yoshi. What the fuck is wrong with people buying Yoshi?
No, Yoshi's a lot of people's favorite character.
You want to know? That's also weird to me because I've actually seen Yoshi's in store.
I've seen Samus's in stores too.
You guys know Rachel. She's such a fan of Yoshi. That's what she named her dog. Her dog is named Yoshi.
That's yet another thing her and I disagree about. Then, let's see. Star Fox is $30. An American Marth is $30. Oh, the Villager from Animal Crossing is $54.
Wow.
Wii Fit Trainer is $30. Mega Man is unavailable. You can't even fucking buy a Mega Man. Little Max $44. Like, these are triple. These are at least double, and some of them triple what these are actually like. You should look up
cost. You should look up the Wii U GameCube adapter.
People who really want those characters, though, they'll pay.
They really do, but here's the thing: is that I kind of feel like part of Nintendo is just kind of like a little unsure of whether these are going to actually sell. Because let's be honest, it's not like their Wii U is like the most mind-boggling thing ever. Because these amiibos work with the new 3DS, which isn't out yet, and the Wii U. And the Wii U isn't exactly the most popular thing out there. And one of the things that you buy these figures for is to use them with Smash and other various games with your Wii U.
The thing is, they know they're selling now, so I really hope they do a print of the other waves. I just looked up
like I said, they probably have like a smaller assembly line make these, and it's not just like you can just throw Marth bits back on the assembly line and just do it that way.
So I just looked up the GameCube adapter. It's $60.
Yeah.
So
I was really fortunate to get it at the normal price at Best Buy.
You know what? I own 3 GameCube controllers already, so I am actually pondering like that. I am considering that. Like that is something that I'm going through in my mind. It's like, well, I'd only have to buy 1 GameCube controller. So like I don't know. Like that's not. Yeah, that's still triple what they sell for, and Nintendo should print more of those fucking too. So, that's.
I don't know how their assembly lines work, honestly. For all I know, because they're not exactly the hottest thing when it comes to electronics.
I know that they use the same assembly line Apple does.
That doesn't mean that Nintendo could just say, yes, we would like to buy an extra 100,000
they use Foxconn?
to make their Wii U's and 3DS's. Yeah, stuff like that. But it's not like Nintendo could just say, yes, we need to magically turn a lever up.
Well, maybe that's why. Maybe Apple's preventing them from making the Amiibos.
Or maybe it's because they have to get... Well, here's the thing. Whenever you want to make more of something faster... What do you have to do? You got to speed up your supply chain. You got to build. You got to have the tools set up to do it. I mean, you think about it. For example, say you're a cook. All of a sudden, you have to cook faster. Well, you have to get the food coming in faster too, so you can cook faster. So it's like a supply chain, and then of course they got a schedule to keep up with. So you can't print more Marths when you gotta do Wii Fit Trainer or something.
If you guys want to know what's nuts. So the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus have been out for, I think, 4 months? Almost 4 months now. Yeah. And I was reading somewhere that for the first time in the 3 or 4 months since the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus have been out, the first time the Apple online store, you can literally go on there and buy a 6 or 6 Plus and then be in stock. Before, it was like shipping in 2 to 3 weeks. And that's not Apple... That's not Apple holding back stock like Nintendo may be doing. Apple sells more iPhones than is physically possible to make.
And here's the other thing, too. It is safer to I guess the word would be undersupply than to oversupply, because if you oversupply,
Oh, that I know.
that is worse. Just
You know,
ask,
like-
just ask the car business on unsold models that sit around on dealers' lots, and then they gotta shut down the factory, lay off workers for a couple weeks or months even.
Right, it's just like the psychological thing. If you go to a store and you see a million amiibos on the shelf, you're gonna be like, okay, here's this amiibo thing. But if you see the amiibo and you see maybe a few Marios and all the other ones are sold out, it's like, wow, this amiibo thing.
You know what? That I completely understand, but it has been 3 months almost since the first wave came out.
It's freaking January. Christmas is over.
I mean, like, can we please add, like, print one wave, Nintendo? Like, if Nintendo says, okay, we're doing another print of wave 1, I will go out fucking tomorrow and pre-order Captain Falcon and Little Mac. I will fucking go out tomorrow and do it. But, you know, like, I don't give a shit how late I work. You know, like, the fact that we haven't gotten a batch from either of the first waves yet, and as long as we're talking about fucking insanity of Nintendo not printing enough of shit, the new 3DS, which they unveiled today.
Oh, we knew that was gonna happen, though. Let's be honest.
Well, the console sold out, but that Zelda Majora's Mask version sold out in 15 fucking minutes.
That sounds like PAX tickets.
That's actually worse than PAX tickets. PAX tickets at least sell out in half an hour to an hour. 15 fucking minutes.
It is a limited edition Zelda Majora's Mask system.
That's the thing. When Nintendo says limited edition, they mean it. Not like these other companies that are calling limited edition.
Except the GameCube.
Still buy them brand new 6 months later.
Except the GameCube, because they sold a quote limited edition, unquote platinum edition, but so many few people were buying it that it was like the only GameCube you could buy. Yeah.
You know, oh my god. Well, I mean, and also the Majora's Mask limited edition is all sold out. You can't get it, and that I was actually really mad about because it comes with a statue of Skull Kid. That'd be awesome to have. Fuck.
Well, at least when Nintendo says limited edition, it's meant to be limited edition, and
Yeah,
generally limited edition means that it's worth something. It's hard to find. Most of the time in the gaming industry, limited edition means nothing.
It's like,
But
where can you find a limited edition Fire Emblem 3DS? Good luck.
You know, I get that, but like 15 minutes. The one I really don't get is the Majora's Mask limited edition. Like that one, I'm just like, holy Jesus, you know. But whatever.
I don't know. It's just kind of like I'm trying to understand the logic at Nintendo's offices without this conspiracy plan, because they're like, you know, guys, we're probably not as popular as we used to be. Let's play this safe, and then surprises like this happen.
Yeah, I mean that is
like I said. You think the Wii U is like the hottest thing out there right now? The Xbox One and the PS4 are just like speeding away in their Lambos and Ferraris, and Nintendo's just kind of stuck at the line with the Honda Accord. It's just, that's basically what it's kind of like.
I'm just so, you know, oh man, it's just really, on the one hand, they're obviously not printing enough, but I do get where they're coming from. It's just like, okay guys, just a little more. Just make it so that, like, I wake up, watch Nintendo Direct, and have an hour to get the system.
Like I said, they probably did not see this coming, because frickin' it's not like Ocarina of Time was like, oh yeah, we know it's Ocarina of Time, but frickin' Majora's Mask.
Yeah,
the oddball Zelda game.
Ocarina of Time 3D actually sells for $50 used. Did you know that?
They don't have any copies?
No, they do not print that game anymore.
Wow.
That game is really hard to get now.
Why can't they just print more if used prices are that high? What?
The reason why you gotta think about it this way. So it's not like you can go to a factory and be like, okay, we want 1,000 copies of this game.
Well, there you go. See, there's the Amiibo problem again.
Well, yeah, and that's probably the problem with the Amiibos is, look at it this way. Okay, so this game, $60. Why don't Nintendo just print more? Well, The thing is, it's not like if they go back on store shelves, they're going to be selling millions of them. You're talking about a niche audience, maybe across the entire country, maybe at the most 100,000 people want to buy it again, okay? Well, that's assuming it's 100,000, first of all. And second of all, remember, when it comes to manufacturing, larger quantities drives down cost. If you produce a much smaller amount, then the cost of it goes up. So it's not like Nintendo can be like, okay, go make 50,000 copies. It doesn't work that way. Like I said, if they're making limited editions where they charge limited edition pricing, they can do that. But for a game that came out so long ago, the reason why it's worth $60 is because it's not like people are all over the place who are looking to buy a copy, but for that one person here or one person here that really wants it, they're willing to pay that price to get it.
I think you can actually download that one digitally. So this is actually one of the great things about getting copies of games, at least. Like, yeah, okay, collector's editions are still going to be a bitch to hunt down, especially for Nintendo. But, like, if Majora's Mask is sold fucking out, well, I really don't give a damn, because I'll just download it.
Can I just tell you how stoked I was that they're putting Mario Galaxy 2 on the Wii U eShop? I can actually play it for $10.
We're already getting into news. Anthony, top 10.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, we're talking about the news where amiibos are still not being found anywhere, and we're already talking about Majora's Mask not being able to be found anywhere.
Yeah, okay, we'll go back to Majora.
We'll come right back to that, but Anthony, top moments of the year for you.
2 top moments of the year. One good, one bad. I'll start with the bad. Why the hell did I buy a PlayStation 4 for Destiny? This is why I am not an early adopter. Okay? I bought into the hype. Everyone around me is like, dude, you're going to need a PS4 anyways. Buy it for Destiny. Fine, I'll get the Destiny bundle. Shows up my house, freaking stoked, along with a laptop and a new hard drive for my PS4. Sweet. Played Destiny, realized...
To be fair, Destiny was a fun 8 hours. Like
it was a fun 8 hours, and you know when we did.
And look at it this way: even though you bought it for Destiny, you can't really play Destiny. So you're able to enjoy Dragon Age. You're able to play Drive Club, and all the you're already set up for the future. So it's not like you waste. It's not like the PlayStation 4 has dropped $100 since you bought it.
Which is a valid point until you realize that even today, I probably would have rather had an Xbox One at this point. Which brings up another point, because I think one of the best things that could have happened last year as far as consumers go is the Xbox One just literally just priced to sell. $330 gets you Assassin's Creed, and you know what? If I had Forza 5 and Forza Horizon 2, you bet I would still be playing it right now. I could still play Dragon Age on Xbox One. I can play Sunset Overdrive on Xbox One.
Oh man, the best deal was, I think it was either Target or Walmart. They had
a $50 gift card.
They had the Assassin's Creed bundle, so you got the brand new Unity and you got Black Flag for $350 with the Xbox One, and you got a $50 gift card on Black Friday. That's nuts. So essentially, you're getting the Xbox One with a brand new game and a semi-new game for $300.
And I could play the Master Chief Collection too.
Yes, but Assassin's Creed Unity was kind of shit. So,
Black Flag was awesome, though.
Black Flag is the best Assassin's Creed because they said, let's not make an Assassin's Creed game, let's make a pirate video game.
With Assassin's Creed elements.
Yeah, like they said, basically. Like,
it wasn't, from the sound of things, it was not an Assassin's Creed game with pirate elements. It was the other way around.
Yeah, part of that, like... Every part of that game where they're like, oh, the assassins, I'm like, don't care. Every part they're like, here's fucking Blackbeard, go take down the Navy. I was just like, fuck yeah! That's what I liked about that game. Like, I played Unity for our Game of the Year stuff because I thought, oh, well, okay, well, I'll never know. The games can surprise you. And I got through 2 hours of it, and I'm like, this is shit. This is a big pile of shit that I just put into my PS4. Fuck that game.
All right, Anthony, what's your so that's your bad moment. What's your good moment?
The good moment is freaking the first time you go to the conventions. It's like, it's one thing to drive to LA. Like, I've been to the SoCal area many times, to Orange County and the LA area. That's fine and all. So I'm like familiar with I-5 and all that. But the first time you literally walk into the Gallon Center, so watch the Microsoft press conference, and then you go to Sony's press conference, and then the next day you're walking the conventions. It felt surreal. It's like a dream, except it's not a dream. It's real.
Yeah, and we also had 2 panels this year. Fucking
yeah, but...
that last thing didn't happen. What are you talking about? Yeah, no, we had 2 panels this year. One that went really well. One that I think part of the reason it didn't go as well, but was still good, is because like we asked for 4 microphones and chairs, and like they put us in this side room with 2 microphones that weren't plugged into the fucking sound system, and just like we also asked for a fucking camera stand, and oh my god, we ended up asking for a god damn it, Anthony, what's the name of it? Jesus,
a tripod.
Tripod. Thank you.
We got one, but we didn't use it.
Yeah, we got one, but we didn't use it because by the time we got one, we were already making my friend Kenson be a cameraman. So fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like next year when we go to that particular convention, I'm gonna ask for the main stage, and if they question us, I'm just gonna hand them our Quantcast page. that is all, because like that was also a train wreck because we were supposed to give out gift cards, but they gave them to the wrong person to give to me. So the fucking person who had the gift cards weren't there, so we had to make up a prize at the last minute of custom art. So yeah, that was
and it wasn't like we made it last minute either. We literally showed up to their meetings and pointed it out a good month and a half before. Here's what we need.
Yeah, like I went to all these meetings and I'm confirming things with their staff, and it's just like, fucking, this is what happens. Oh my god, this is
It somehow didn't help that freaking. I just remember thinking to myself, gee, I really hope the panel isn't located in some obscure corner of the entire place, where it's hard to find. And guess what? It was located in some obscure hallway in the corner of the bottom floor of this mall in the Grand Sierra, and I'm just like, okay, wow, seriously.
I was just like, we had a good turnout for that panel considering where we were located.
Yeah, you and John had to like work your butts off to promote it, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, first off, I was already super stressed that day because I was doing double duty. I was there working for Moondog, but I was also promoting our panel. So I'm just like running around telling everyone to go to the Moondog booth, go to our panel, go to the Moondog booth, go to our panel. Oh god. And then afterwards, we were able to relax for a bit. Then we had Extra Life this year, the same time that was going on. So I would have my day job, go to the fucking con to promote Moondog, then did Extra Life, then went to my job, then went back to the con. I didn't sleep for something like 41 hours. It was nuts.
That was a really, really busy weekend.
Yeah, during that period, I got 3 hours of it was 2 hours of sleep at a friend's place while they were getting their cosplay together and on, because they had a really elaborate cosplay with a lot of makeup and stuff, and I was their ride. So I was like, okay, well, it's after work. I'll tell Moondog I'm running a little late and just take a nap. And like when I had to get back up to go promote computers at that damn con on Sunday afternoon after working, I just was gonna cry. Like, just,
Been there, done that. Sucks. Nothing is worse than going a couple days without really getting any sleep, and then having, when you get like an hour or two of sleep, having to wake up to a full day ahead of you. It is the worst feeling.
Yeah, like, I thankfully didn't have to wake up to a full day. It's just show up to the convention, direct people to the booth, oh god, take pictures. And I was
when I moved out to LA and I was starting a brand new job, moving across the country pretty much by myself, and a full-time online college schedule, I had those nights pretty much 5 nights a week. It was miserable.
I mean, like, less so,
As you guys remember, that week, that time I moved out here, I was like MIA for months. when I moved out.
There was a good 2-month period where it was just Anthony and I taking care of everything.
Yeah.
It
was literally my schedule was, okay, try to find an apartment, take care of online classes, work more than 8 hours a day, come home, keep looking for apartments, still got online homework to do, it looks like I'm not sleeping tonight. Like, that's what it was like. It was the most miserable, I would say, out of my entire life, that was the most miserable 2 to 3 months of my entire life. It was that bad. It's a time that I'm glad it's in the past, and I would never want to visit again, and I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. I'll just put it that way. It was awful. I look back at it, and I'm like, how the hell did I do that? I don't know how I did it.
Oh god, I'm having flashbacks to Extra Life. Like the last hour of Extra Life, I was starting to crash.
Extra Life was definitely a big highlight too. It was pretty successful.
I remember Extra Life. I checked in at 12, like midnight when my shift was over, and here was Bronson, Tori, and Stephanie, all feeling good or looking good at least. And I was like, okay, time to sleep because our Dota embarrassment run starts at about 6 or 7 in the morning, I think.
Yeah, it starts at 7. So.
Yeah, so I had to wake up at 6 to make sure everything was tested and ready to go. Woke up at about 6, checked the live stream, and then there was Bronson, Tori, and Stephanie completely gone.
At that point, we had beaten 2 or 3 video games.
I think I got them right when they were finishing Flower.
Yeah, we beat Flower, we beat Metal Gear Ground Zeroes, and we beat some other game.
Yeah. And then, of course...
How many... It was rapidly successful. What would you guys say was... What would you say consistently how many viewers we had?
I think, like...
150, 200.
At our low point, it was like 20. But that's because it was 4 in the morning. But, like, at our peak, I think we got over 400 at one point. Granted, putting Tori and Stephanie as the ones on camera was definitely a good choice. Because apparently the PlayStation fucking Eye can only focus on one person when you stream, which is stupid, but whatever, hey.
Yeah, I noticed that with the PlayStation 4 camera, it like auto focuses on the person, which makes it good. Which makes it good. Don't get me wrong. If it's only one person playing and streaming, it's good because you aren't seeing this entire room this person has. It's focusing on the actual person. But when you have multiple people, that's when it's an issue.
Yeah, like that.
If there's not there should be a setting, but if there's not a setting for that, Sony should definitely put that in the
there's a setting for that on the Xbox One. Like on the Xbox One, when I stream, I just pan my whole room. Like the part of the reason I've actually been like streaming more games on the Xbox One when we do our Saturday night streams has been because it can get my whole room. I prefer to stream on the PC or on the Xbox because the PC, I'm the only one playing a game, so it's getting my face because it's on using my laptop camera. And if I'm doing it on the Xbox, it gets a wider angle, especially if I have people streaming with me. Speaking of which, a couple of people asked me about this. When are we going to play through the Halo games? Because we hit the Extra Life goal. John and I have to arrange a time for that. We're probably going to have to do it during his spring break. So, yeah. But yeah, John and I are going to play through Halo games.
Cool. So any other year-ending stuff before we go ahead and head into the news? I think we're like an hour in and we haven't even talked about news yet.
I had something, but it fucking dropped.
Okay. So let's continue. Let's start with the big news, and I'm going to have Bronson cover most of this because Bronson... I know Nintendo Direct happened, but I didn't follow much of it, so I'm going to hand it over to Bronson for now to cover Nintendo Direct. What all was announced?
Okay, so Nintendo Direct. First thing is they unveiled the 3DS keyboard. Not a 3DS keyboard, but they unveiled the new 3DS XL.
It's new.
It has a faster It's been out in Japan for a couple months now, and it has a faster processor, better screen, better camera, all that good stuff.
Just quick note on that. So this is funny. So we recently changed it. But anyway, weekly we have a meeting to kind of keep everything in check and know what's going on. And I remember this was before it was announced for Japan. I was telling everyone, I was like, Nintendo's going to be announcing a new handheld, it's going to be a new handheld or it's going to be an updated handheld. And you guys were like, no. And it's because one of my very good sources who's been accurate most of the time, he's told me some stuff that haven't come to fruition, but that could just be because it just doesn't happen for whatever reason. But he told me this, and I was like, okay. And sure enough, what was it, like 2 weeks after I told you guys? And I was like, hey guys, remember what I said?
It's not exactly as new as you would hope. It is basically a bumped up 3DS. If you want to crudely look at it, it is a bumped up 3DS with slightly faster processing, the same operating system, and Amiibo and NFC support, and a C-stick and more buttons.
Yeah,
it's a slightly improved 3DS the way I look at it.
So do the existing games work on it, or is it...
Yes.
There's going to be some exclusive new 3DS software like Xenoblade Chronicles or new 3DS or something like that, but for the most part it is a 3DS that's been bumped up. Like Smash will load faster on it is what I read.
Got it.
Yeah, like that's basically what
it's
it
like
is.
A DSi, but
more
than a DSi.
I think a good comparison would be like the PSP 2000. Like a bump in clock speed, better screen, lighter, doesn't cramp your hands like the regular 3DS currently does.
Yeah, but that they didn't have games made specifically for that.
No, they didn't.
I think the only difference they did with that one is the clock speed was the same. I think they just added it was double the RAM is what it was.
Yeah.
It's double the RAM, better screen and stuff like that. So.
But I don't know, it's neat. Like John says he's buying one like day one because he wants an XL. I personally want an XL, but I'm gonna wait till there's an exclusive game for it I actually want. Because Majora's Mask plays on the regular DS. Like there's nothing here that makes me go, fucking, I have to have that new DS.
Oh, but Nintendo, they'll have something coming out. They're gonna do.
Absolutely.
They'll do like a Mario Kart, or they'll do something, a big game to push that thing. That's why they haven't announced any like big games that are gonna be exclusive for it.
No,
that's a bad move.
Well, here's the thing: is it's not like they didn't have anything flaming for the DSi either, and even then, the DSi did still sell very, very well.
Yeah, but if you're gonna announce something like that, like
but the DS wasn't playing like exclusive games. Like that's this is.
They should have announced something like, freaking the next Zelda or something like that to really get people like, oh shit, I need to get this.
Well, that's why they have the limited edition bundle, which is flying off like crazy to the point where you can't get one. Yeah.
So that. The new 3DS, it looks neat. I'm just not even thinking about buying one. My current thing is like I want to get a tablet because, oh god, I need to tell my New Year story. Okay, I'll do that at the end of the podcast. But let's say my car's fucked. Not due to drinking and driving, just it was old and decided to die. My car is completely fucked, so I've been having to take the bus everywhere to work and whatnot.
That sucks. I hate public transportation with a passion.
Normally I do, but I have found some advantages to it. Like one, I'm saving a shit ton of money, and two, it means I can kind of just focus on other stuff while I get where I need to go. And I've been portable gaming a lot, and I've been, reading books a fair bit and just doing that kind of stuff. And it I need to get at minimum an e-reader, and preferably like an actual tablet.
Yeah, if you're gonna get an e-reader, you might as well go all the way and get like an iPad.
Well, yeah, that's the plan. I'm planning on getting an iPad Mini too. That's the plan. They're pretty cheap. I'm actually probably going to do it through my cell phone carrier because I can just pay a small monthly fee. I think it's like $22. That doesn't really normally I'd pay up front. Don't have the money to pay up front, so I was like, fuck it. I'm saving $250 a month, not paying for gas or insurance. So,
Hey, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is, right?
Yeah.
You have no idea how fucking expensive a car is till you get rid of it.
talk about, obviously it's come down a lot now because I have more years of experience and all that.
And
but
even then, you're not 25 yet.
Yeah, talking about Bronson, talking about the cost of a car. Just to give you guys an idea. So everything's more expensive out in LA for sure because the driving, people are nuts driving. Anthony can attest to that because he had to drive through it.
Yeah.
To give you guys an idea, so when I moved out here, I was like, shit, I'm gonna be kind of screwed. Well, here's kind of the thing. So I got a job offer. I was working at Bite-Size at the time, and at this point, only other job I had was Best Buy, which completely sucked. So I was making a couple bucks over minimum wage, but that's it. It sucked. Whatever. I highly recommend do not work at Best Buy. If you work at Best Buy, I pray for you every night. But anyways, so I got a job offer. I'm like, this is gonna be awesome because this is a lot more. Obviously, if it wasn't enough for me to live out here comfortably, I wouldn't have accepted it. But it's like, wow, this is paying me a lot more than I've ever been paid for. This is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna be living super comfortably. Did not happen. I would say I was still comfortable, but not as comfortable as I thought I was gonna be, because rent out here is beyond freaking expensive. But then car insurance. So first of all, because I was moving out to the West Coast, I couldn't stay in my parents' plan anymore. So I had to get my own plan, and here I am coming out with a red Mustang, California.
Yeah. I was about to say
less than a couple years of experience. My car insurance alone was $450 a month.
See, that's
a month.
$450 a month.
That's not a 6-month plan. That's every month.
Every month. Yes.
See, that is why
$2,700.
This is why you don't drive a sports car when you're 20.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a sports car. It was a V6 Mustang.
Oh, insurance considers it a sports car. If I would
it's got rear wheel drive. You're gonna spin out.
Yeah, but anyways, and the funny thing is, so I'll bring this up. So I recently moved from LA to Irvine. Now, obviously, I had my car accident and all that stuff. But other than that accident, my driving record's immaculate. It's completely perfect. No tickets. Not even any warnings. Like, completely perfect.
Same. Like, completely the same.
Yeah. So that one accident, that one accident was me totaling my car. So it wasn't just like a little $1,000 thing. It was more like, okay, they have to replace my entire car. But outside of that, so to go from LA to Irvine, because keep in mind, Irvine, it's south coast of Orange County, super, super nice out here, but the thing is you don't have any other traffic they do in LA. So, of course, car insurance is going to be more affordable. So when I had called and to see what it would go down to, in LA, I was paying like $270 a month for car.
That's still fucking insane. I would have traded in that fucking Mustang for like a Civic.
But no, if I'm driving a car, I've got to feel good in it. That's just that's why I didn't have a car.
It's expensive, Nick.
Well, no, but here's the thing though. When I was 16, I didn't have a car. My parents didn't buy me a car. I saved my money up, and I could have bought a Honda Civic when I was 16 because I was working at Best Buy, saving up pretty much 99% of the money I had. I could have bought one, but I was like, no, I want a sports car. So I saved up enough money to where when I was 17, almost 18 years old, I bought my Mustang with cash because I wanted a sports car. Well, so obviously I got my Mustang replaced, got a silver Mustang convertible, and convertible makes it cost more. And then obviously after the accident, the insurance skyrocketed for a little bit, but it's actually 2 years today that the accident happened. January 14th, I'll never forget it. Scariest moment of my life. If you guys do not know, pretty much going down the freeway at night, could not see anything until this big landscaping rock, which must have came off the back of a truck. It had to have come off the back of a truck. Something that big does not just chill in the road freeway that long. So I don't see it till it's in my headlights. I hit it, pop a tire, flip my car straight into a tree like 70 miles an hour. Wasn't drinking, none of that. Go straight into the tree. Airbag never deployed, which is beyond scary to me. But I'm living today, perfectly healthy. All I have is a scar that's on my hand and goes down my wrist. I actually tweeted about today. If you see my car and then you look at the only damage that was done, you'll be like, there's no way you're in that car. Like, I remember when I went to the junkyard to sign my car over to insurance so I could finish my claim, the guy was like, whoever was driving this car, I hope they're okay. And I was like, I'm the one driving the car. I was the one driving the car. He's like, you were driving this car? He's like, they just brought this in yesterday. I'm like, yeah, I know. He's like, there's no way. I'm like, yeah, I was the one driving that car. He's like, you're extremely lucky. He's like, most cars I see like this, they're either dead or they're disabled or they're in the hospital for a month. So I was beyond lucky. It's just scary thinking about it. But regardless, so back on point, my insurance was about $270 a month in LA.
That's fucking insane.
I moved. Well, it's more expensive. It was LA. You gotta think about it. LA, you're 10 times more likely to get into an accident in LA than Reno because of the traffic and people are just nuts over here.
Gotta make that exit for I-5.
I'm saying right now, you said you're paying like $280.
Insurance is all about statistics. Well, that's what I was paying. So I moved to Irvine.
Yeah, what are you paying now? I'm curious.
Insurance dropped more than $100 a month. I'm paying like $170 now, and $170 is my renter's insurance and my car insurance together. And that's for me driving a Mustang convertible. So that tells you that me driving Irvine, because the thing about Irvine, first of all, I live in a secured apartment, so I don't have to worry about car break-ins because I'm in a secured gated apartment. So they break-in insurance, I don't have to worry about that. Second of all, I work from home, so I don't put really any miles on my car at all. And then third, I'm living in Irvine. Like the chance of getting an accident in Irvine is 10 times less likely than if I was driving in LA every day.
$170 is still fucking outrageous to me, but that's still
nothing.
You have to remember the car and the age.
Yeah, yes, that's what I was saying because before my car was totaled.
Yeah,
I was 20.
How old are you, Bronson?
I'm 24, so I'm 3 years older than you, I believe.
Yes, yeah. So by the time I'm 24, then I'll probably be paying like $120 a month for car insurance and renter's insurance.
I was paying $80 a month for towing and mostly full coverage. Like there was a couple of things that weren't.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too. I also have full. Since I got my first car, I've always had full coverage everything. Which means that, like, for example, if I didn't have that coverage, I've been screwed with my first car because once I got in an accident, State Farm, they sent me a check for the value of my car, and I was able to replace my car. Now, obviously, I put some more money into it to upgrade, but, yeah. I mean, if I have the full coverage, because that was totaling the car and there was no one to blame for it, my insurance would be like, well, you weren't paying for that, so replacing your car is all up to you. So I would have to find some way to pull $8,000 out of my pocket.
See, if my car that I had at the time decided to get totaled.
Well, yeah, but that's because your car is not worth as much.
No. I am saying that I wouldn't dare put full coverage on my car because it'd be fucking stupid.
Absolutely not.
It's just like, oh, the Warthog got destroyed in a fucking car crash? Okay, that's sad. You know, like, yeah, it bums me out that I don't have a car right now, but, like, I think about, A, the amount of money I'm saving, and B, the fact that thing was a fucking just piece of garbage. It was a semi-reliable piece of garbage.
But anyways, let's get off car insurance and cars. Let's go back to Nintendo Direct. What other news do we've got?
All right, so lots of new
Amiibo. Can I just comment?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only the XL. They don't have the regular sized one yet. Apparently people want, because apparently a lot of people actually want the XLs and not the regular 3DSs. And I'm kind of like the person who wants to be able to carry my portable in a pocket, and the XL's too big.
Okay, so I used to be that way, but now that I don't have a car, I have to carry a messenger bag with me everywhere fucking anyway, so I don't care anymore. I've officially stopped caring. So, anyway. The biggest news out of this morning's Direct on the Amiibo front is that Wave 4 is coming later this year, and it's going to be Smash Brothers focused. But they also got to see a Super Mario set at work, which will work with Mario Party 10, Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, Fire Emblem, and Codename Steam. And the new 3DS version of Smash is getting the Amiibo update next month. So, yeah. Anything more that I want to say about this? I think it's fucking insanity to be doing a Super Mario set instead of just reprinting the Smash ones, but whatever.
What are your thoughts on the amiibos now that you have it? Like,
I haven't even gotten mine out of the box yet. I just bought them. They've just been sitting in my room.
So my opinion of them after seeing them at a friend's house is I think they're cool. You know, like I think it's a cool idea. I like the fact that it's not necessarily like it doesn't feel like taken out content. It feels like, well, if you really like Smash or certain Nintendo games, this is a cool thing to have, and also you can put it on your shelf. It's neat. I say $13 is worth it. Yeah, that's my thing with it.
okay, continue with the news.
All right, continuing on with the news. New games and DLC announced. Alongside new trailers for games we already knew were coming, Nintendo announced a new games coming this way, including a new Fire Emblem for 3DS.
I watched the trailer for that one. Pretty interesting, but it's basically Fire Emblem. I mean, let me put it this way. Like, as far as Fire Emblem games go, the most you can really do to make them better is to make the presentation and the sound and the looks, like that kind of stuff, because Fire Emblem kind of has like what I call like that Pokemon effect, where the gameplay is so bulletproof that the best you can really do is to refine it further. So yeah, interesting trailer they had though.
Yeah, the trailer looked really arty and neat. I actually really liked it.
I imagine it's going to be really cheesy because that's just what Fire Emblem's great at, is just having really cheesy English voice acting and cutscenes. Okay.
So, next up is the Tekken creator is working on a free-to-download Project Treasure, which is a popular Japanese title, Puzzle and Dragons. Mario... a new Pokemon title called Pokemon Shuffle was revealed, with 2 new playable DLC fighters coming to Hyrule Warriors. One of them is Tingle. That sounds amazing.
That sounds scary.
That sounds so great. I'm so happy about that. It sounds so fucking dumb. Fucking Tingle. The fucking...
Tingle just comes in and just wipes out like 500 baddies on the field. Yeah.
He's a 35-year-old man who thinks he's a fairy wearing a green onesie and his underwear on the outside. I don't
Some tells me whoever came up with that idea was on drugs.
Well, you can ask, was it Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time?
No, he was in Majora's Mask first, yeah.
Some tells me they're doing shrooms or something.
Nintendo is in their own Katamari Damacy world, okay? We established this a long time ago.
Alright, let me tell you that every time a new Nintendo game comes out, I'm like, oh yeah, someone over there is on drugs. Like in Super Mario 3D World, it's when I was playing it and the final boss of the main story was Cat Bowser. Oh, it wasn't just one Cat Bowser, it was like 5 Cat Bowsers. I sent you guys a picture of that when I saw it. I was like, this is the best thing fucking ever. I took a picture and sent it out to everyone.
And then let's just like look at Zelda games in general. They just have like some weird awkward race in there or some weird awkward person.
Same thing with Mario. Like there's shit in Mario that I'm just like, fucking what? Anyway, continuing. Older Wii games are coming to Wii U. Nintendo will begin re-releasing reproduced versions of select Wii titles, including Super Mario Galaxy 2,
Yes.
Punch-Out!, Donkey Kong Country Returns, and the Metroid Prime trilogy on eShop starting next month. For the first week, each title will be available at half price, though they intend to go back up. They've been told Wii games will hit the Wii U shop as the year goes on.
Super Mario Galaxy 2 is out now, and they're actually having a sale. You can get
how much is it?
You can get Galaxy 2 for $10.
So they're
which
normally
straight up beats going to your local used store and trying to buy a used copy for like $40.
So Mario Galaxy 2 I consider to be the best game of the last generation of consoles. So if you haven't played it, you should go play that shit.
Oh yeah, I'm totally buying it.
Metroid Prime Trilogy normally goes for like $70 to $80 used. So thank you, Nintendo, for solving that problem.
I mean, you don't get the cool metal case though.
I don't. You know what?
That's the only thing you're missing out on.
That's neat. I just want to play those games. Like that's.
I already have Prime 1, and Prime 3. I just don't have 2.
I own all those games. Just I want to play the first 2 with Wii controls. And Metroid Prime 2 is fucking difficult whenever you get around to playing it.
Well, Metroid Prime 3 was already hard.
I didn't think Metroid Prime 3 was that hard.
I thought like the Phazon Planet was like granted, this is like back when I was a lot younger and just wasn't very good at games in general. The final fight when you're on like the Phazon Planet in Prime 3 was just, oh my goodness, it was frustrating.
I think if you were to play that game now, you'd find it easier. I also think if you were to play that game after playing 2, you would be like, this is the fucking easiest game ever.
If there's one thing I remember about Metroid Prime 3 that scared the living out of me, it is you visiting the abandoned Valhalla spaceship. Which, by the way, is completely shut down, so you have to use these little energy tanks to light it up. In addition to that, you're walking through the dark and there are Metroids around. It was scary. Oh,
yeah, that part was. Alright, so.
I don't want to.
Alright, so. Majora's Mask, Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, and Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate all got release dates.
Yes.
Alright, so. Majora's Mask and Monster Hunter will be coming out the same day as the new 3DS next month, which is February 13th. I'm gonna buy Majora's Mask.
I'm buying Majora's Mask. I don't know about Monster Hunter because somebody has to teach me that game.
So, here's the thing about Monster Hunter. Like, the one thing that's making me consider that game is game night. So, for those of you who don't know, the Reno staff has a weekly game night at a friend of ours' house. And we all sit around and play fighting games and other multiplayer games, or not even play games together. Like, there was one night where we all just got on laptops and played separate shit. And that game is going to be super popular because Garen likes Monster Hunter, Rowie likes Monster Hunter, John and Brevin both like fucking Monster Hunter. So, yeah, I just was never a fan of the series. Like, I know that when, I know when other games come out that are multiplayer, I'll be into them, but not that one. And Xenoblade Chronicles 3D is due to turn up come April. So
that's weird. That's about the same time Xenoblade on the Wii also came out. Okay.
April 2nd, and they continued the news. The 3DS XL is getting 2 special edition bundles. One is for Monster Hunter 4. It's silver with a blue Monster Hunter logo and says Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate at the top. And the other one, which sold out in 15 fucking minutes. I repeat, 15 minutes.
Well, PAX this year will be the same story.
From all online retailers. A Zelda Majora's Mask bundle that is gold and has the Majora's Mask on the top, and it also has a bunch of accents from that series. I think it looks pretty cool. I don't think gold was the right color choice personally. I would have heard purple.
Purple would be a good one, yes.
But what else?
You know what would make the collector's edition sell even faster? Don't put a skull. Don't just put a Skull Kid statue in it. Put a Fierce Deity Link statue in there too. I would be put both in there, and I would be a complete sucker for it. But yeah, 15 minutes. Wow, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's fucking insane. I understand why PAX tickets go that fast, and PAX tickets are cheaper than this too. So, $200 and in other news, these new 3DSs don't come with a fucking AC adapter.
Aren't they supposed to?
Wait, they don't come with the AC adapter?
Let's buy a phone with no cable for it.
Wait,
I'm pretty sure they do.
Are you kidding?
They do have to come with an AC adapter.
They have to come with an AC adapter.
They don't. Their logic was...
How do you charge it then?
Your old 3DS fucking cable, or you buy one.
But
I'm not joking.
That's like selling the TV without a power cord.
Because there are plenty of you don't need a power cord for your PS4 because you just used the one for your PS3.
I'm not joking. When I tell this to everyone, they think, "Oh, you're fucking joking, right?" I'm like, "Fucking no! I wish I was."
If I buy a new 3DS and it comes with an AC adapter, I'm gonna make you look stupid.
I'm sure you will.
And if I don't find it, then I'm gonna make Nintendo look stupid.
Where did you read?
I am reading it on IGN. Quote, Nintendo responded to our request for comment on why it decided to leave the charger out of the box. According to Nintendo, it was a measure designed to save costs for consumers who may already own a 3DS or DSi system. The new Nintendo 3DS XL uses the same AC adapter as the Nintendo 3DS or DSi system. Rather than raise the cost of the new 3DS XL by charging consumers for a component they may already own, we're giving them the option to only buy it if they need an AC adapter.
Here's the problem. No, here's the problem with that logic.
This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Here's the problem.
Nintendo is fucking now. They're really fucking doing drugs now.
No, here's the problem.
They're doing that undiscovered shit. That's what they're doing.
Here's the problem: is that if you have a new 3DS, because it does everything your 3DS does but better, you're likely going to sell your 3DS, right? Probably, which GameStop will not accept without a power adapter.
Or what if you don't have a 3DS and this is the first one?
Well, then you buy it as a separate peripheral.
That's
so fucking stupid.
It's like buying a PlayStation 3 or an Xbox 360, and then you have to go get the HDMI cable because they don't come with them.
No, that's different. That's different.
Ooh, okay. Yes, let me buy an HD game console without the HD cables.
No, here's the thing. So obviously with the PlayStation 3 and 360, they did not include the HDMI, but with the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One too. But the HDMI, I accept that as a little bit different because HDMI, that's a general cable used to transmit video from your console to your television. But we're talking about the accessory that keeps your device powered on. That's like buying a PlayStation 4 and it not including the power cord because, like you said, oh, well, they probably got a PlayStation 3. Why don't they just use the same power cord? That's stupid.
Guys.
Plus, it's a cable. It couldn't cost Nintendo more. I mean, I understand that $1 here saves a lot in the end run, but that's just the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
I'm telling you, so a 3DS charger on Amazon costs $9.
It's not that. It's the fact that
it's fucking annoying that you have to buy them separately. I will agree with you on that.
And do you think parents that buy this for their kid, are ever gonna think, "Oh, I have to buy a power cord for it"? No, because the shit's supposed to come with it.
You know what? To be fair about this, but this was back in the day. I thought the original 3DS needed batteries. So I opened the bottom of it with a screwdriver because the battery was removable and found out oh shit, this thing is rechargeable and looked stupid. But I was 14 and this is coming off of the Game Boy Advance and all the other portables that didn't fucking use rechargeable batteries.
Here's the problem: how many parents are gonna buy this system, find there's no charger, and then think that Nintendo is cheating them?
Yeah, they're just going to go back to the store bought it.
You buy a car and it doesn't come with a battery.
No, they're just going to go to the store where they bought it and they're going to say that they bought it and it doesn't include the AC adapter.
And then they will. And then Best Buy will.
And if you take it to Walmart, they're going to be like, okay, well, let's go ahead and exchange it out for you because they're stupid and they don't know.
What are the chances that Nintendo has not made enough chargers for in the event that this new 3DS sells really well? What makes you think that Nintendo actually stocked them up on their online store?
That would be fucking hilarious.
Yes.
That would be so fucking funny.
Imagine you buy your next iPhone and Apple's like, oh, we're not going to include the cable because more than likely you're upgrading from another iPhone, so you can just use that cable.
Well, it did need a USB cable, so that already solved the problem.
I would be really irritated about that because I like to have extra chargers with my iPhone. But to make this even worse, so Anthony, you're gonna fucking buy a new 3DS. What are you gonna do with your old one?
Sell it.
All right. Well, GameStop has a deal. If you trade in your old one, or your 2DS towards a new 3DS.
Well, remember, if you trade in your old one, you got to give them the AC cord.
Yeah, that's the thing. They don't take your system without an AC cord.
I'm sorry, Nintendo. No excuses. That's the dumbest shit ever. Whoever signed off on that's fucking retarded.
I'm pretty sure for some reason, they really had to hit that $199.99 MSRP for some reason.
But over an AC adapter, they could have changed something else.
They could have made it $209. I still may consider it, but that $199.99. Believe it or not, that $99.99 makes people more likely to buy stuff than just making it even.
I understand that, but they could have changed something else. Don't not include something you need in order to turn your device on. That's stupid.
The original 3DS, if you bought it at launch, came with a charging cradle. So
Really? Because I bought mine in like a year after it already launched, and it also came with a charging cradle.
yeah, I bet they stopped at one point because I know like a couple people.
Plastic, too expensive.
This fucking small piece of plastic with a tiny wire costs us too fucking much money. God damn it.
New 3DS does not function out of the box because the battery's dead.
So, anyway,
there's gonna be a lot of consumers that are gonna get really pissed over.
I mean,
this.
the average gamer is probably smart enough to realize that they do have a 3DS charger sitting around, but
I can't trade in my 3DS anyway because it's an ambassador DS, so I can't trade it until I move all my shit to the new one. But because I was a sucker and bought a 3DS at launch, so the deal GameStop is doing, you get $100 if you trade in an XL or a Vita. All 5 of you who own a Vita. 2 of them are Nick and I, and the last one's John.
That's 3 people who own a Vita.
That's 3. I think Theo. Oh wait, Theo owns 2, so
that's
he's
4.
No, he owns 2, so that's 5.
5.
He owns 2. He owns all. So
Vitas. Got some life there.
That's fucking it. I will say, like, I've been playing my Vita a lot recently because we got a review code for Citizens of Earth, along with the fact that, like I said on the bus, that's about, let's see, going to work, coming back from work, etc., ends up being a relatively lengthy amount of travel time. Like, not, like, I think I end up, I would say between both bus rides, 2.5 to 3 hours total, I'm doing fucking nothing. So I'm playing video games, portable video games. And, like, man, when you play a bunch of Vita games, then you go back to the 3DS feels like a fucking toy.
It's a fun toy.
It has way better games, but fucking...
Yeah, I see what you kind of mean. Ish.
Like, I was watching fucking Netflix on my Vita, using my phone as a hotspot. And there are great games for the Vita. Like, Velocity 2X was great, Danganronpa is awesome. I loved all the PS2 ports, but... Anyway, off topic. The fucking GameStop deal. If you trade in your 3DS XL or your Vita, you get $100. If you trade in your regular 3DS or your 2DS, you get $75.
Oh, that's more than the 50 that they normally give for the system.
That's normally the nickel they give you. Yeah. And they're promoting a bunch of new games that obviously just came out if you want to buy it with your 3DS, which, like, they're promoting Story of Seasons, the new Pokemons, Animal Crossing, Majora's Mask. Oh my god, I'm just so fucking excited for Majora's Mask.
I know, it's like that Oddball Zelda game.
It
literally is an Oddball Zelda game, because if you look at games before that and afterwards, it was, oh no, Princess Zelda's in trouble and Ganondorf came back. In Majora's Mask, well, Link already solved that problem in Ocarina of Time, so what did they do? Well, there's a moon problem.
I like the 2 weird Zeldas. Like, I like Majora's Mask and I like Wind Waker. Like those are the 2 weird ones. Because the rest of the time...
I don't think Wind Waker was that weird, actually.
Dude, I know you...
Granted, it's art style, yes, for sure. But from like a gameplay design viewpoint, it's like, well, aside from the giant ocean, it is a pretty standard Zelda game.
Dude, you have no idea how many people just lost their shit when that game came out.
Oh, yeah. I know. Fun fact, did you know that Zelda Twilight Princess runs on the same...
engine
as Wind
Waker. Modified engine.
Yeah. Freaking completely different ends of the spectrum. Because you know how when games run on the same engine, they tend to look the same? Because you just knows all the tech and stuff? Yeah. Freaking Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, they share the same basic graphics engine. It's crazy.
That's what good art will do for you. But even then, Wind Waker is weird. Like, it doesn't start out as like go save the princess or anything.
It starts out as, hi, here's a pirate, and your sister has been kidnapped.
And, like, you have this weird stealth. Like, you don't, like, know about the princess and all that stuff until, like, halfway through the game.
And then she gets kidnapped again.
Yeah, like, then it turns into Zelda. Even then, it's still kind of a weird one. Like, you look at, like, Twilight Princess, you look at Ocarina of Time, you look at A Link to the Past, you look at Skyward Sword.
A Link Between Worlds.
definitely a link between worlds. Like, you look at all of them, they kind of share some similar stuff. And then for 2 games, especially Majora's Mask, they're like, let's do something weird.
Well, let's be honest here. They finished Ocarina of Time. And like Majora's Mask was pretty interesting because they made it really different, but at the same time they recycled a lot from Ocarina of Time. Everyone in Tormenta looks the same as their counterparts in in frickin' Hyrule. The moon is coming down, and you got 3 days, and if you screw up, just rewind the clock.
Yeah, like that. That I found that game to be really difficult at points. And Anthony, let me tell you, the water temple in that game, fuck.
That game has pretty much taught me that if anything involves water, it will suck.
Yeah, no, the water temple. It's slightly more fun in that game, but even then, it's shitty.
Ooh.
Oh.
The joy. I'm looking forward to getting stuck on the dungeons. Solving all those puzzles.
I really like the Goron dungeon in that game.
You do like the Gorons in general, right? It's like the fireplace was your favorite in
it's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like my favorite in all of them.
Everything is on fire.
The only one, and even in fucking Wind Waker, I really like the fire one. I really like the wind one. Actually, the shadow one's really cool in that game too. Wind Waker just had fucking amazing dungeons.
Yeah. I think my least favorite in Wind Waker was the Ganondorf castle thingy.
Yeah, that place was super great.
Yeah.
Even then, though, I liked the boss rush. That was cool.
It's a kid's game. What do you do to beat Ganon? You stab your sword into his head.
Yeah, here's this kid's game with all this colorful art. Let's stab Ganon in the fucking forehead.
Yeah. Yeah. Sweet. This is a bloodless stab, as far as they can see.
Yeah, that is true.
I do like Wind Waker. It doesn't exactly stick out in my brain too well. I mean, I freaking bought the Zelda limited edition Wii U, which is basically a Wii U Deluxe with Wind Waker and some markings on your gamepad.
You know what? I'm still glad I got the Zelda bundle for that. Don't even
I know. You talked me into it, and now you're not. Now you're gonna have to tell me to get an Xbox One this year. I just know it.
I'm not. Dude, I'm playing all my multi-plats on PS4. No.
Well,
no,
yeah, that is the console to play them on. I mean,
especially now that especially now that the PC, now that PC games are coming out that just fucking destroy that with those Witcher specs.
It's like Crysis, and it could end up like Crysis where it's really badly optimized and it just has high specs for the sake of high specs and not look like what its specs once you're out of your computer.
I can still run games on high and ultra, but I have a feeling this is gonna be the last year where I can do that. So I'm probably gonna be playing I'm probably gonna be moving from PC back to PS4 this year, and I'll be playing Batman on it. I'll be playing several games on it as my primary console. So,
okay.
This year unless Halo 5 is just fucking insanely good, and even then I probably wouldn't be like, well, Anthony, you probably shouldn't get it because it is a shooter.
It's a shooter. But I really did like Halo Reach, but that was a Bungie game.
Yeah, to be fair, you saw it during 60-minute access this past week. Halo 5.
It somehow reminds me a little bit of Call of Duty, but in a good way.
Yeah,
just like that. It looks a little faster, but it didn't look too fast. And I like Halo, and I liked Modern Warfare 2, so it kind of looked like it looks like Halo with a little bit of Modern Warfare 2, and I'm like, you know what, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd recommend trying it at least. But I'm at this point, I don't, unless you just fucking need to play something on it, I don't see a need to get the Xbox One now that you have a PS4. And Forza 6 has been announced, but
it's gonna happen this fall. They're putting out Forza game every year. Whereas Turn 10 is doing...
No, they announced it. They have announced Forza 6. It was announced a day ago.
Well, yeah, it's coming out every year now, whereas Turn 10's putting out a Forza game every 2 years, which is the Motorsports, And Playground Games is turning out the Horizon games once every year, which is the Horizons. Once every 2 years, yeah, which is the Horizon. So they're like alternating.
Yeah, basically.
Honestly, though, I just like, oh man, I feel like I really want to play Forza 5. Like, every car is in Auto Vista. That just sounds awesome. Then you show me a screenshot. And I'm like, whoa. Yeah, I get a little geeky about it.
Hey man, telling you right now that I understand. Except for me, the thing that sold me on the Xbox One is, yo, we're making another Killer Instinct. And then, like, I was like, okay, well, hopefully... Titanfall was cool, but I could have played that on my computer. It wasn't, like, super spec-intensive. Like, it wasn't, like, super hardcore on your computer.
Yeah, I would say other than, of course, Sunset Overdrive had me for about a week. But after Sunset Overdrive, like I said, my Xbox One still remains my Forza box.
Yeah, Sunset Overdrive was a solid 8 hours of entertainment. If you want 100% everything, like 16.
I liked Forza Motorsport 5. I liked Titanfall.
Halo, now that it's fixed, is great. Love me some Halo.
Forza Horizon 2 is just so damn good. I love that.
Can I just tell you?
So good.
I was kind of uninterested in Horizon the whole time until I poked in the car list, and the moment I saw a Cadillac Escalade, I'm like, wait, you could drive an Escalade in this game? And then all of a sudden, I wanted Horizon 2 just for the...
Was that all the Nintendo Direct news, or...
Oh, we got one last...
Yeah,
we got one last
got
piece.
sidetracked somehow, I forgot.
Okay.
Nintendo has announced their first cross-buy game, so if you buy it on 3DS, it'll work on Wii U.
Ooh.
And it's Mario versus Donkey Kong Tipping Stars.
Okay.
So...
Okay.
Hey, Nintendo, we need to have a chat. You have all these wonderful Super Nintendo games and Mega Man on the Virtual Console. I want to buy those games for one of my two systems. Why not make it so when I buy it on one, I get it for the other, like Sony does with PS1 Classics? If I buy Final Fantasy VII on the PS3 or PS4, they work on the PSP and the Vita. Magic.
They have to program that stuff for something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's dumb.
I don't know how Nintendo works. All I know is they don't have as much manpower as Microsoft and Sony. So they kind of have to do their own thing, which is a constant love-hate relationship. We love their amiibos, but we hate they can't make enough of them. Something like that.
You want to know what's funny? I want to send you... So, I guess this will be a branch... Since Nintendo Direct is over, I'll branch over to the other news. Several editors from IGN left to go form Kinda Funny Games, which... they have and I've been paying attention to their stuff, and it's actually probably my second favorite podcast that I listen to on my daily commute. And oh god, Beta making noise. And they recently did they did one of their shows where, like, it's called A Conversation with Colin, where they talk about, like, one specific topic, and they talked about Nintendo, and, like, I don't necessarily agree with it, but they make some damn good points where it's like, I wish we'd get the Nintendo of the Super Nintendo era. Because the way it works now, especially with the fucking home consoles, especially with Nintendo home consoles, is that I buy the system, and it sits around and does fucking nothing until a Nintendo game comes out, which is 2 or 3 times a year. And for when that fucking game comes out, it's all I play for about a month. It's like Smash came out, I'm still playing it. Bayonetta came out, spent a month straight on it. Mario Kart, same fucking thing. But when those aren't around, it just fucking sits there and does nothing. Versus my PS4. My PS4 is on every day. Every day. My Xbox One, it varies. Depends on the game, depends on other factors. But, like, my Wii U spent most of this summer, I got that free Mario game, I played it, I got a good portion of the way through it, I was like, alright, cool, I'm not playing this till Hyrule Warriors comes out. Spent 2 months just sitting there doing nothing. And it's really irritating to have that happen. and it's becoming this thing with them where I, I'm kind of pissed at Microsoft and Sony because of shit like the Master Chief Collection and broken games and shit. Because it means I'm in this love-hate relationship with Nintendo where they release these great games and everything else is horrible. But at least I know that when they release a game, it's not going to be broken or shit. So I don't know. Like it's weird, man. But I don't know. What's your guys' opinion on this kind of funny games news? Have you been up on this?
Yeah, they the one thing that surprised me, so the reason they left was because they raised enough money through this service called Patreon, which if you guys don't know what Patreon is, it's a little bit different than Kickstarter. A Kickstarter, usually you invest, let's say $5, 10. There's tiers, and usually it's to have a project, like a video series or a video game, and essentially in exchange, because usually with investing, usually in exchange for an investment, you end up giving equity in your or a percentage of your company or stock, whatever you want to call it. But with Kickstarter, they kind of changed that, where essentially, rather than giving part of your company, you can offer something in exchange for money. So, for example, you would say $10 will give you a shout out on a video, or $100 will give you a customized T-shirt, etc. That's how Oculus got started. They raised like $2 million on Kickstarter, and then everyone got really upset when they ended up selling to Facebook for $2 billion because all these people invested and they didn't get any return on that. But to be honest, they had no reason to complain because they knew going into Kickstarter that's what it was about. But anyways, with Patreon's different because you're pretty much making a monthly commitment. Patreon's more for people like IGN or starving on YouTubers or people that are
like us.
Yeah, like pretty much what you can do is the same kind of thing where there's usually tiers where you'll contribute, let's say, $5 or more a month, or $10 more a month, or $100 more a month, and pretty much automatically deducts from your card or however you set it up, and it goes to these contributors. And pretty much it's crowdfunding, and you have several people donating $5 to $10 a month to these guys, and you get thousands of people, and it ends up being some serious money. I think they got up to, what was it, like 27,000 a month?
But between both their Patreons for Kind of Funny, which is a separate podcast, and then Kind of Funny Games, it ends up being like something like 30,000 total.
Which, don't get me wrong, that's definitely a successful Patreon. I haven't seen one that's that successful. But you got to keep in mind, how many guys was it?
4. I think total they have like 6 employees.
Okay, so 6, you're talking about, 30,000. So let's just say 30,000 divided by 6. Obviously, I'm sure people like Greg Miller. Greg Miller is probably the head honcho, so he's probably getting a bigger cut than some other guys. But let's just break it even and make it simple. 30,000 divided by 6 guys. That's $5,000 a month. But that's not. Well, actually, let's take the 30,000. You got to take in operating costs of the business, which is easily gonna be $4,000 a month between equipment, bandwidth, all that stuff. We'll just say $4,000 a month. So we'll just say $4,000 a month for each employee to make it simple. So that's 48,000. That's without benefits. That's before taxes are taken out. These guys take a huge pay cut to do this. I mean, especially Greg Miller. Greg Miller was probably making 6 figures at IGN. If I had to take a guess.
Like, Greg Miller was the face of IGN. Like, that dude him and Colin Moriarty both are like the face of IGN PlayStation. You know, like they have like if you go download the IGN app, those two are the face on it. You know, so I
wonder if they still are.
That's a good question. Someone should go download that. And then Tim Geddes was kind of big on IGN. Like, he's in video stuff. Like, the only one of these guys that, like, probably is... Like, all of them said they are getting a pay cut. So they have 4 on-camera guys and then 2 behind-the-scenes guys. So it's Colin Moriarty, Nick Scarpino, Tim Geddes, Greg Miller, and then 2 guys that work behind the camera. So, The reason they said they did it is because they want to work closer with their audience and do their own thing, and good for fucking them. I say, good for them. I and good on them. In my opinion, this fucking hurts IGN bad.
Oh yeah.
Whenever
you think of IGN, the first person I think of is Greg Miller.
Freaking when you lose your like 4 really high up people like that, like freaking even someone like me would notice, because it's like, okay, so these guys are your face, and now that is gone. Now what?
I mean,
I understand that IGN's going to still be around because they're owned by some mega corporation, and megacorps are good at having contingency plans for stuff like this. But you just know that things aren't going to be the same when something this big happens.
Like, Naomi Kyle is still there, and so is Brian Altano. But so Greg Miller had a very popular show on IGN called Up at Noon. The new host is former Rev 3 Games, who shut down last year, funnily enough. Host named Max Scoville. So if you know who he is, which I do, but that's because I kind of follow this industry, he's a pretty solid host. I'm not sure if he's going to be the same thing that Greg Miller was, but still, I think he can be solid. I think, like, right now, Greg Miller and Colin Moriarty said they'd still work as freelancers for IGN doing the PlayStation podcast. But now, like, I have no reason to go to that website, really.
It's just news and that's it. But even then, you can go anywhere for news.
Like, I mean, actually, no, I'll still listen to the Nintendo podcast because Brian Altano's on it, and that dude's mad funny. Metal noises?
Sorry, that's just my chair. It's kind of squeaky now.
Yeah, like, these guys definitely took pay cuts, but I think that they're under the philosophy I am, is, like, a pay cut's worth it if you can do do the shows and stuff you want on a daily basis and interact with your audience on a closer level.
I guess my only thing is, what, IGN, they're San Francisco, right?
Yep.
So you're talking about these guys. I mean, like I said, you're talking an average. And like I said, I'm sure Greg Miller takes more than the other guy. I don't know, maybe.
I don't think so. These guys are all close friends. I'd probably say it's an even split.
So if it's an even split, like I said, that's $48,000 with no benefits, and before tax they're taken out. You can't really live in San Francisco off that. So I don't know. Maybe these guys are living together. Who knows?
I know 2 of them are roommates, so that probably cuts down on cost. And then they probably don't live in San Francisco. They probably live on, like, the outskirts.
Right.
But like Aaron. Like, Aaron, he doesn't live in Seattle. He lives in Tacoma. Like, I have a friend who, I have several friends in Seattle. None of them live in fucking Seattle. They all live in Kirkland and Shoreline and fucking even Bellevue. So, there are ways that they're cutting costs. But like I said, I see where they're coming from, because, like, if you can work on the projects you want to work on and, like, do the job that you want to do and communicate better with your audience, then fuck yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I would take the pay cut. That's me personally.
Right.
Anthony, what about you? 20 years from 20 years from now, fucking just TGA explodes. Super. We're all making 6 figures as senior staff. You and I start a stupid YouTube channel and get super popular. Do you take the pay cut to go do what you want full time?
It really depends. There's like a lot of factors too. I mean,
yeah, that too.
It's like, I think, like, here's an analogy that I think a lot of gamers can understand if you play MMOs. Like, it's like leaving a guild. If you were, like, the head guy of your community or whatever, and then you decided to leave for whatever reason, there are many, many reasons why you would leave. Is it because someone else poached you? Is it because... Sorry, that was a bad example. Was it because, like, someone else offered you more? Was it because you weren't happy with leadership? Was it because you had disagreements? Was it because you just felt the place wasn't staying alive? Was it because you hated being bossed around? There's a lot of reasons there's like a lot of factors that go into why you would leave a, you know, secure position at that point. Honestly, it's like for that many high up people to leave at once, that's huge. Like, you kind of actually ask what is actually going on. Because obviously you can't just say, oh, it's because that place sucked. Well, obviously the company's going to not like it at all if you just simply speak up against them. So you just...
Yeah, that's unprofessional, and that kind of shuts you off to future employers, too.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where if you leave your job for whatever reason, like me, I can say I hated Best Buy and working for Best Buy sucks. But that's different because that's not what I consider a professional job. Now, let's say for some reason with my current job, I left for whatever reason, I slandered it. That'd be a horrible move because with the relationships they have, then the clients they have see that, and that kind of ruins you, you know? So even if they had like a lot of bad blood, they're never going to expose that because if they expose that, then it shows them that they're not they're not professional.
I also think if there was bad blood, they still wouldn't be freelancing to do the fucking PlayStation podcast over there. So,
right.
You know.
It just came down to they want to be in their own control and do what they want to do. It's that simple.
Yeah, that's basically it. You know, and I understand that because, like, you know, Nick gives us a ton of creative freedom. I mean, if Anthony and I want to start a show, we start a show, run a pilot. If it's successful, we make the show. You know, and like I love that environment. Like as a creator, it's a fucking amazing environment to be in. Which working for like an IGN, it's hard to get shit like that approved. Like let's say Anthony and I go apply for those fucking holes over at IGN and we get hired. Like anytime we want to run a show, it has to run through fucking marketing and PR and get approved.
It has to go through human resources to ensure no sensitive material.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Yeah, so, you know, I definitely understand that. And then they were already doing this kind of funny podcast where they couldn't talk about games because the IGN told them, look, you're our personalities, you know, if you want to talk about games, like, you have to do it on our shows and shit. So, I you know, once again, good for them. I was, at least it's not like when Gerstmann left Giant Bomb and it was because of shitty reasons.
Blew that up.
Yeah, like he
GameSpot?
Yeah, GameSpot.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, because what was it? It was that something.
Kane and Lynch.
Kane and Lynch too. He gave it a bad score, didn't like it, but the advertiser was not happy about it.
Yeah.
And the people who owned GameSpot at the time, not their current owners, were like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on?" And like that's where you have to separate, like, you have to separate editorial from marketing. Like you have to do it. Like any company like that. Like even we have to do it. Like you know, if so and so is advertising on our site, like let's say, I don't know, some game, and like it gets given to Anthony or I to review, or John to review, or whoever to review, and it's a fucking tire fire, you need to be able to tell people it's a tire fire. And then if that sponsor gets mad, you tell them, oh well, you take your money, go away. Like you need to be able to do that.
Ethics.
Yeah, ethics. Surprise! You know, here's the thing: a lot of game journalists never took, you know, journalism.
Well, a lot of it is because, for example, GameSpot. Who are they owned by?
They're owned by CBS now.
Okay, so
not back then though.
They weren't. Well, okay, more than likely though, the head honcho of GameSpot at the time, more than likely was not a gaming enthusiast. It was more probably someone who had much background and experience in journalism and may have came from another online site or something like that. So of course the money, they're like, okay, they're paying us money, of course, give them a good review, do whatever we want to keep them happy so they keep paying us. But Jeff Gerstmann is like, I'm not doing that because this is my name, I'm writing the review. If the game sucks, I'm telling it the game sucks. So that's how it is here. We don't have companies paying us for good reviews or anything like that. So
no, that's very apparent by the fact that Sega sent us a copy of Aliens Cloning of Marines. And I remember a quote in the review, if you are an Aliens fan, you should be insulted that they gave you this product.
You should be insulted that they thought you would like this game.
Yeah, like, just...
That's funny.
And you need to be able to say that shit if a game sucks.
They stopped sending stuff right after that.
Yeah, they stopped sending stuff.
I am not joking. Like when what was it? Like when they sent us Sega All Stars Racing Transform for 360. I liked it.
They sent us Anarchy Reigns. I really liked that.
Randomly, out of nowhere, and this is just before we left for CES.
Yeah. That was really bad timing because I didn't get the review done.
But the game did come out early in that year, so... Then they sent Aliens, and then, of course, Aliens Colonial Marines just randomly showed up. Gave it to Bronson. Yeah.
I'm the only one who likes Alien movies at the time, so it's like, okay, I'll play it. And, like, I didn't finish the game. It's normally I'll finish a game before I review it, but the game glitched, and it made it so I didn't have a gun, and any gun I picked up wouldn't show, so I had to melee everything. And then I just couldn't make any more progress, and I was just like, well, I'm done with this game. And then I played multiplayer, and that was actually... The multiplayer was kind of stupid fun. Like, I think that if you got some people together, that could be interesting. And that's the only thing that saved it from a 1 or a 2, was the multiplayer.
Saved from a 1 or 2.
Yeah, like, I gave it a 3. Yeah, and Sega hasn't said anything since, and they still, granted, there's not much that comes out from Sega, so we don't request stuff from them too often, but, like, the times I have had to send them a request, I don't even get a response. So, whatever.
We can't be the only place that absolutely hated Aliens Colonial Marines.
No, but at the time, we were, like, half the size we are now, as far as, like, staff and numbers go. So they probably, haven't checked on us in a while, and it's like, well, fucking whatever, Sega. You wanna play that game? Go right ahead. If I don't have to play Sonic the Hedgehog, oh fucking well.
But please do send us Yakuza 5. We really do want that.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's good stuff. You should think about it.
Like, John and I probably do more reviews than anyone else, so we're the ones who have to play all the fucking terrible ass video games that come through.
To be honest, though, it's not like we've had like a giant stream of crud come through. It's actually a lot of decent stuff.
Like, most of them score 6s. Like,
which on my scale, a 6 is kind of lame, but it's still okay in a way.
I categorize a 6 as like, this isn't the greatest game in the world, but it functions. It's not glitchy or broken. It can be fun at times, and if you're into the concept, then fuck yeah.
I just look at the 10 scale as like school grades, and like a 6 is like a D. I mean, it's like, okay, it's kind of lame, but at least you're kind of doing something right.
No, I think C would be. I think 6 is more like a C pushing a D.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it too. I consider a 7.
Anything? Yeah, I think 6 is like the lowest C. 5 would be a D, and anything below a 5 is just bad.
And here's the thing, that there is a thing is like more than the sum of its parts. Like, I gave Anarchy Reigns like a 7 or a 7.5. I fucking loved that game. It's one of my favorite games. Anarchy Reigns is fucking awesome. But it has problems that if you're not willing to overlook them, that just, ugh. Yeah, so, where were we? Kind of funny. Yeah, okay, good, good on them. I've got to meet a couple of those guys. They seem really neat. Right on. Maybe one day we'll do Patreon and make $40,000 a month. Granted, you have to split that 8 ways, which that isn't much money. Yeah, split it 8 ways, and then you factor in production costs. Granted, if you want to talk about ghetto as far as equipment goes, Anthony and I know how to make a setup for very, very, very little money.
It means pulling in a 7-year-old computer. Yep.
Yeah, that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Omnidirectional microphones, having to like encode audio files through the PS3. Yeah, that was fun.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. We used a PlayStation Eye as our podcast microphone for quite a few years. Because none of us really had a laptop or a decent microphone to go with a computer, so PlayStation it is. Then we would wait forever for cell processing to encode that audio file when Adobe Audition could get that stuff done way, way, way faster. It's ridiculous.
Remember, the cell processor was supposed to take over the world, and the PlayStation 3 was supposed to be the only thing you would ever need in your living room. It's supposed to replace your computer, remember? Remember when the PlayStation 3 was supposed to replace your computer?
It could have. Bronson and I used to get so fanboyish about it that we wanted cell in our computers.
I actually installed Linux on it once. I only used it like once or twice.
And then they killed it. They killed that feature.
Yeah.
That stuff is, like, cell processing is so 2000s. And hey, guys, we're halfway through the decade now.
God.
That's scary.
We are halfway through the 2010s decade.
You want to know what's even scarier? 2 years from now, 2007 will have been 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No. I had this moment where, like, at work today, when, like, we were talking about the 20th anniversary of PlayStation, a coworker and I, and then, like, he brings up the fact that, like, PlayStation's really 20 years old. I'm like, yeah. And I thought about it, like, oh god, PlayStation is 20 years old. Like, that thought just finally, like, clicked with me for whatever reason. I'm just like, oh.
It's like for us, for most of us, we went through high school in the late 2000s, so our brains are a little stuck in that time.
Yeah.
So, it's just like, hey guys, in 10 months, the Xbox 360 will be 10 years old.
Which, that's insane to me when I think about that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
you and I were in middle school when that thing came out.
That's fucking madness.
And Nick probably hasn't started middle school yet.
Yeah, Nick was in 6th grade then. if that's the,
something like that, or he just started middle school. I don't know.
That's fucking madness.
Can you imagine how teeny weeny we were 10 years ago?
Dude.
We were stuck in puberty.
Yeah, 10 years ago, I was 11.
Oh my goodness.
God, I was 14.
It's amazing how long the 360 and PS3 lasted.
Well, it's because one, they had to recoup so much money.
Oh yeah,
like
they were like at the time when they came out, it was about horsepower. It was about being faster in the age of high definition. Nowadays,
and it was a Blu-ray. And remember, the PlayStation 3 was so ahead of its time in a way. I mean, between the Blu-ray player, the cell processor. I mean, it was
that system came out 2 years too soon.
It kind of did. I mean, even if they came out 2 years later, they put more RAM into it, so it actually would have lasted longer.
Yeah, like that was the big fuck up with the PS3 was they didn't have enough RAM in it.
256 for the system or 256 megabytes for the system, 256 megabytes for the video.
Yeah,
I think that The Last of Us ran on that system.
And it somehow did that without breaking or falling apart. Like GTA 5 and Last of Us, those are like the two games I look at on the PlayStation. I'm like, how did they ever figure out how to use only 512 megabytes to load all of this?
Optimization, man. And also, I guess this is a news story. They're having a sale for the PlayStation's 20th anniversary, and why the fuck is Crash Bandicoot still not available on the Vita? Like all these other PS1 games are. And I was like, oh, maybe I can download Crash Bandicoot finally because I own it on PS3. It's like, no, we still haven't brought that over yet. I'm like, fucking come on, really? Oh well, at least I can play Final Fantasy. Anyway, we're kind of funny. We talked about that. Any other news stories we got?
Yes, I have a few news stories. So, PlayStation now has subscription pricing. Actually, starting right now, everyone who has a PlayStation 4, there's a 7-day free trial, so everyone can try out all the games they want to on the service completely free for 7 days. But the biggest complaint with PlayStation Plus was just the pricing on it. Well, now Sony's come out with a subscription, which I think is perfectly reasonable, personally. You have the option of going month by month or per quarter, so every 3 months. If you go month by month, it's $20 a month. If you go quarterly,
Nick,
every three. If you go, what's that?
Oh, Bronson.
Oh, you were cutting out.
Yeah, well, I heard Nick fine.
Oh,
okay,
so
that
must be your internet.
This thing better not be freaking breaking down because TeamSpeak is already bad enough.
Yeah, so So with PlayStation Now, they announced subscription pricing, which is now active. You can either go month by month, which is $20 a month, or you can do it by quarter, so every 3 months, so $45 a quarter, which makes it pretty much $15 a month. What are your guys' thoughts on this? I think it's perfectly reasonable for those who want to go back and play these games. I mean, it gives you unlimited access to over 100 PlayStation 3 games. They're constantly updating it. They're good quality PlayStation 3 games. These aren't just any random games. They've got Beyond, The Last of Us, Uncharted, God of War. Like, these are your top PlayStation 3 games they've got on there. What are your guys' thoughts? And also, when we mentioned, you can play it on the DualShock 4, which is a better controller. You don't have to hook up your PlayStation 3. You're able to just stream it instantly. I mean, for the price, I don't think it's bad.
$20 a month?
I think that I think depending on the games, it's worth it. It's gonna be dependent on the games for me, of course. So.
I feel like for $20 a month, what is going to happen is, oh hey, I just wanted to play this game that I never did on PS3. I would just pay for 1 month of it, play it for a month, and then stop. So it's like it's like an on-off thing for me. Is how I would use it.
Just to name a few, they've got God of War Ascension, Infamous, Ico, the remake of the PlayStation 2 version. They got Ico, The Last of Us, Lego Batman 2, Final Fantasy 14, Batman Arkham City. Like, these are...
Hey, Anthony, you should use your free trial and beat Arkham City in a week.
Ooh, I need to find a good block of time to do that.
Yeah, there you go. See,
everyone's got a 7-day trial that automatically started.
It's probably a good opportunity for us to review it too, because it's like, okay, so with a reasonably fast internet connection, how well does this run?
Yeah, that too.
I was at the PlayStation Now beta, and I was actually very surprised. It ran very well.
I was too, actually. I played Oddworld, and I was like, oh, wow, this actually works. Surprise.
So their acquisition of Gaikai is starting to pay off. And remember, this is PlayStation Now at its current stage. Pretty soon, you'll be able to play all these games on your Vita. Don't forget that.
So, depending on how much data that burns, that sounds amazing, because I'd use my phone as a hotspot and then play fucking PS3 games on the bus on my Vita. That sounds fucking amazing.
Well, it's also, I mean, this doesn't really apply to us because we own game consoles, but for those who aren't really hardcore gamers, at CES, Samsung announced, of course, all Sony's new TVs are going to have PlayStation Now, and literally, you just buy a DualShock. What I don't understand, which is I think stupid, is with the TVs they said DualShock 3. I don't know why it wouldn't work with the DualShock 4.
I think it's because the DualShock 3 is Bluetooth versus the DualShock 4, which might be its own weird dumbass thing.
DualShock 4 is Bluetooth as well, though, isn't it?
I don't think
so.
If it was
Bluetooth, it would have been more compatible with the PS3 by now, and you didn't have to hardline it.
Yeah, that's so. I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm guessing.
I think it just uses a special spec of Bluetooth or something. I don't know. But Samsung announced at CES that all of their new TVs are going to have PlayStation Now in it. So not only Sony, but Samsung. So even if you're not a gamer, if you buy a new television, you could pay $20 a month. Or like I said, you can do 3 months at a time for $45. And you can have access to this big library of games. All you have to do is buy a controller, Bluetooth it wirelessly to your TV, and now for this charge, you have access to over 100 games, with a majority of them being quality games that you can just instantly stream. I think the subscription pricing is very fair. I was thinking Sony was going to come out and charge $30 a month or even more. So $20.
Here's the thing. I pay $22 a month for GameFly, and I'm not dropping that subscription.
Bronson cut out.
Yeah.
Hello?
It's his internet.
Yeah.
Hello? Better?
Yeah.
Better?
Yes, much better.
Okay, so I pay $25 a month for GameFly. Now, granted, GameFly has new games. I'm playing Dragon Age right now. By playing it, I mean I'm putting in the envelope to return tomorrow because I'm not fond of it. But the fact that it's cheaper than GameFly, if I was still where I was in like high school, I just wanted to play games all and didn't really care if they were that new or not, this would be fucking awesome. But one, we need to keep up with 60-minute access, and two, I want to play new releases now and stay current. So this is not the service for me, but still pretty neat.
I think $20 is a fair price considering the catalog.
Yeah, like I mean, Anthony.
Like the catalog is not like the most blazing hottest, freshest. I mean, there probably is
Well, yeah.
a few.
Well, they're all PlayStation 3 titles.
I know,
so.
yeah. See, so it's not like it is the hottest, freshest, shiniest new titles around. It's a PlayStation 3 catalog in some ways. So, when you consider the age of the catalog, I'm like $20 a month. You know what? If I wanted to play like Arkham City, if I wanted to play Arkham City for a month, I would just pay $20, play for a month, stop, and you know what? I guess I'll be okay with that. It's an on-off thing.
Anthony, you kind of have like me as one of your close friends who has like the majority of great PS3 games.
See, or if you know someone like Bronson, all you do is walk into his room and see the entire library of noteworthy PlayStation 3 games.
I'm missing a couple.
All in order of release date.
Like, I'm missing a couple, but I do have the majority of good PS3 games.
Yes, Bronson, I would like to try out the original MotorStorm.
I have it.
Yeah, because, I mean, just think about it. I mean, especially for those who don't have much money to spend on games, like, if you want to have an access to a large library and you can only buy a new game, like, every couple months, like, you pay $20 a month and you have access to a lot of these games that, I mean, none of us have played all these games. So maybe you want to catch up on some of these games that you've heard are great, then you just simply stream it. You don't have to download it, so it doesn't take up, I mean, it downloads a small file, but it's not like you're having to download the game. It's 100% streamed. And the accessibility, like I said, this is going to be something that you'll be able to play on your Vita. So you'll be able to play The Last of Us on your Vita.
And once again, I'm wondering what kind of connection this requires and how much data it burns.
They recommend, which actually is not that fast at all. I believe they recommend at least 5 megabit down, which is nothing.
Dude, is that a 720p or 1080p image?
Okay, so PlayStation Now, they stream 1080 up to 1080i. So PlayStation Now doesn't do 1080p.
And the Vita's resolution is like 950 by 540. So,
yeah.
So
I feel like that 5 megabit is more like a 720p video stream.
I feel like I could get that kind
That's what it is. That's what it is a video stream. It's just sending controls back and forth between the server, pretty much.
I feel as though I could get that kind of connection on my phone's LTE connection. So
absolutely.
I'm so happy about this for my bus rides now. You have.
It needs to be a reliable, steady stream, though. Which for phones in Reno it depends what carrier you have.
AT&T, fucking full bars wherever the fuck I go. It is worth the extra money, good sir.
Okay.
I'm essentially paying for $80 a phone because I pay for my phone and my mom's. So I don't know. They're actually trying to get me to like lengthen my contract by offering me more data for the same price. But I'm like, I don't really need 10 gigs.
Nor do you need a new phone every year.
That's why I have Sprint unlimited data over here, baby.
Well, Nick, the problem with Sprint is that if you live in a city like where we are, where it's not like a super metropolitan area like LA or Seattle or New York or anything like that, Sprint is kind of patchy. It's like they have 4G LTE here, at least they claim they do, but half of the time I'm getting 3G.
Yeah, I live
the 3G is dial-up slow. That's how slow the 3G is.
Yeah, I live where they not only have Spark, but it's their Spark Turbo.
I think you sent a screenshot of your Spark Turbo, and it is as fast as my home internet connection, and I'm just sitting there looking at the screenshot just like, the hell?
Yeah.
What is this? What did they do?
It's crazy fast.
It's kind of strange because I do have Sprint Spark on my phone, but when I was in LA, I didn't seem to get that great of a speed.
I found that LTE with my iPhone it varies as well. Like I can.
Well, that's all carriers.
Yeah, like I consistently get, really good connections though. The only time I don't is like when I'm like in obvious places where you won't get a connection, like the parking garage or like at there's this one spot in the bus station that just stops all fucking cell connection.
Isn't it
Or
weird that
whatever.
it's like I think it's like concrete. Concrete is what ruins it.
Oh yeah.
Just
Oh,
I remember I would like walk into a certain area of a building and all cell phone coverage just dies. And then when you walk out of that when you walk out of that area, it's all fine again.
I remember working at Circus, and that's how it was. Like certain parts of the casino, I would have perfect cell phone coverage. Other parts of the casino, none.
Yeah.
And then I had zero connection down where the employees eat. So I ended up just being like, well, I'm going to not eat down here anymore because I need my internet.
Oh man, people are going to have addiction with the internet. Just cut out the internet for one day and you're just suffering from withdrawals already.
Oh, just imagine if there was one day of the year where the complete internet was just shut off. Imagine what would happen.
You're in like when the power in your house goes out or something like that, you still have the power of a cell phone tower giving you internet. Like that's how connected people are.
Your phone's charged.
So
yes.
Here is my response to all this.
I'll guarantee you if there was one day of the year where the internet was down, we'd have a lot of suicides.
Dude, okay, the last time I moved, I didn't have internet for a week and a half. At the time, I didn't have a smartphone, and I was on winter break, which means I wasn't working for my grandfather, and I wasn't in school, and we also didn't have telephone either. So fucking, like, I was just isolated from the world watching movies and trying to 100% Assassin's Creed 2. That was it. Like, I was in my own fucking little isolation chamber playing fucking Assassin's Creed.
Isn't it hard to, like, know what it's like without cell phones?
Dude,
or actually, I should say smartphones, because, like, people don't even use their phones to talk to people anymore.
All right, so I actually looked on this service right now. Like I booted up my PS4, Resident Evil 5 Gold Edition. Anthony, we could totally beat Resident Evil 5 co-op this week.
Ooh.
If we wanted to.
Ooh.
They got Killzone 3. They got Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2.
Yeah, they got good games there.
Oh, Anthony, you can finally play Saints Row 4. It's on here.
Okay, well.
You can end this.
What a wonderful privilege for me to decide whether Bronson or Nick is wrong.
Okay, stay tuned, guys. Next Unscripted Access, the final result will be in. Will Anthony agree with Nick? So that Saints Row 4 is way over the top and ridiculous and dumb and just a bad game. Or will he agree with Bronson and think that this game is somehow amazing and not over the top at all?
Anthony, do you remember all the crazy shit that was going on in Bayonetta?
Yes.
Saints Row does that, but with humor.
It does. I guarantee you it does that plus times 50. Like, here's the thing. Saints Row 3, I think, was the perfect balance. Perfect balance.
I like Saints Row 3 a lot.
Yeah. Anthony, trust me, let's play Saints Row 4. You have no excuse to not be able to play it now. You have a 7-day...
He hasn't had an excuse to play it for ages. Like I could have just downloaded it for him on his fucking computer.
Well, now it's even more accessible. He can just stream it. So, yeah, Anthony, play it, and you gotta let us know what you think.
They got some really awesome games on here. Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time. That's one of my favorite games of the last generation.
And it has all the features that if you own the game, you still have trophies. There's still online multiplayer. Ooh. So I think the pricing is very fair.
I think
they got
all right. Yeah.
They got Shatter on here. Shatter was awesome. Sonic Generations. I've been meaning to play that. They got Enslaved, which I thought was really overrated, but hey. Luminous is on here. Other notable titles: Contrast.
Ascension's on there.
God of War Ascension, so it's the original God of War. Blaze Blue is on here. Skullgirls is on here. El Shaddai is on here. Fucking A. Knights, if you own a Saturn if you missed it on the Saturn.
See,
everyone
that's the thing. It's not like Sony's loading up the service with a bunch of crapware games that no one wants to play. These are high quality games.
yeah, like a lot of these are like fucking really good games.
Don't they have a BioShock on there too?
Yeah, they got BioShock Infinite.
Yeah,
New one.
BioShock
Ooh,
Infinite.
that's good.
They got Infamous on here, the first one. They got both the Darksiders. They got The Walking Dead. They have 2 of our last 3 Game of the Years on here, The Walking Dead and The Last of Us.
Plus, also remember, with all these games, if I remember correctly, all these games, so, for example, like with game patches or whatever, you don't have to download the patch because it's on their system, so the games are automatically patched and
You
always
don't have to
the
deal with PS3 slow download
plus
speeds.
plus they include the DLC. I believe all of these games include all of the DLC that was ever released for them. Please.
It depends on the game. Like Resident Evil's the gold edition, so it has all the stuff.
Like, I guess the test would be, I know The Last of Us is on there. Maybe try that and see if the Left Behind DLC is included or not.
I know that I just actually started the trial as we're talking right now.
But yeah, I mean, for the price, I think it's very reasonable. Now, PlayStation Now, I mean, the thing is, it really did concern me because I was in the very first stage of it where before they didn't even have pricing at the time. Like, it was just everything was free. You could try it out for free. And then they showed the pricing, and people just flipped out. They're like, PlayStation Now is going to be a failure because it was ridiculous. It was charging, like, let's say $3 for 4 hours, and then it was like $6 for 3 days, and then it was like $12. And some of these games you could pick up at the bargain bin for like $5 or $10.
So, I mean, like, to be fair, some of these games you still can pick up in the bargain bin for $5, $10.
But it's the fact that the convenience of it. You pop the console on, and you have access to not only 1 or 2 games, over 100 games instantly.
This is true. Like, Arkham City, like, you can buy Arkham City for like $5. That game is so cheap. But some of these are actually, like Resident Evil Gold Edition is kind of hard to track down, and, like, everyone shits on Resident Evil 5. Like, so many people shit on that game. I actually really liked it. Granted, my experience with that game, I played it with one of my closest friends, co-op. So that's the big difference. I feel as though if you play that game co-op with other people, it's awesome. If you play it alone, it's... yeah.
And I honestly... we can discuss this. I honestly think this is the future of gaming. Not necessarily immediate future, but I think there will be a time where it's going to be kind of like how Netflix is, where you won't be buying game by game. It will be a subscription service. And the companies will get paid based on, like, for example, the question may be, well, if there's a subscription service, how is a good game going to make more money than a bad game? Well, the game that gets played more gets royalties, and if a lot of people are playing it, then that company gets paid more. I honestly think that's going to be the future of gaming. I think there's going to be a point where we don't even have consoles anymore. It's just going to be all on the internet for streaming.
It's going to be really hard for a small developer to get in, though. Because everything's just going to be dominated by the ones with the biggest budgets.
Well, you could say that now, though, and that's not the case.
Yes, but I'm talking about, like, in the future of streaming where things become like Netflix. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not really an expert on this whole cloud gaming
I mean, we discussed
product planning thing.
We've discussed this before, and I know, Anthony, you and I had a long conversation on one episode of Unscripted Access about it, and how it feels technically capable or not. It's just the fact that we're in 2015, and the fact that you can stream The Last of Us, which is a gorgeous game. Now, obviously, I will say, you can notice it is compressed. Is it a huge...
Yeah, I'm actually playing it right now. I'm playing Sonic Generations because I kind of always want to put more time into that game. And granted, my internet is currently being used by an Xbox in the living room and this little recording we're doing right now. In
PlayStation Now, there's this like a quick option where it tests your internet speed, and then based off your internet speed determines the quality in which it streams it to you. But I mean, I have super fast download speeds, and I played The Last of Us, and yes, you can tell it is not the same quality as if you were playing it straight off the disc or downloaded to your hard drive, but it is pretty close.
I am actually
the fact that we are at that point in 2015. I would not be, like I said, I think we maybe have one more console cycle in us. But after that console cycle, I think the next consoles are going to be the last. I honestly do.
So here's my opinion, because I've been kind of experiencing this right now. Granted, like I said, my internet is strained between like a fucking million different devices right now, so it doesn't surprise me. I am getting a little bit of input lag. Did you have that issue, or is like I said, is it because I'm currently fucking...
The internet lag I had, once again, it was in the beta, so this wasn't at a final stage like it is now. Did I notice input lag? It was sometimes I did, sometimes I did not. I need to try out this trial myself and see.
Here's the thing.
Like Anthony, I'm playing Sonic right now, and while it is certainly not nearly as bad as that Chrono Trigger lag.
Bronson, do this. Do it. Well, is your PlayStation wired or wireless?
It is wireless right now, so that's like.
How far is it from the router?
It's like right next to it.
4 feet.
Oh, it's right next to it. Yeah. Try doing this. Go to your settings and then network settings, and then do the internet speed test, and then tell us what it says.
The thing is that regardless, here's the thing that I've learned about networking. Regardless of how fast your bandwidth is, latency is like its own kind of different thing, because
yeah, but latency is always being improved too.
Latency is, how do I put this? I know PlayStation has like servers across the entire country and world, but there is, and the thing is that whenever your data packets travel throughout the internet, it has to travel through a physical medium. And when it does that, it will take time. Yes, they're improving latency, but that's kind of more like a software end kind of thing, where you reduce lag by not having the networking threads wasting as much time doing things. But the thing is that when a signal travels across the internet, this is why when you connect to Europe, it always takes time, is because that signal has to travel across many different routers along the way and then go across an entire freaking ocean just to reach Europe. Your bandwidth may be great, but those packets, it's going to take time. It's like a car going from one end of the bridge to the other. The car can go 200 miles an hour, and you can have a stream of... 200 miles an hour is the wrong way. You can have like entire truckloads of data driving across that bridge, but if the distance is further, well, you're still getting all your data once it starts reaching over there, but to travel that distance takes time.
So, two things. I'm playing it right now, so I have to comment on it. I didn't play Sonic Generations much, except when, like Aaron mentioned it, and I was like, okay, I have to play this. It seems interesting. And this makes me sad. This game makes me sad for two reasons. One, this is really good. And why didn't they continue working on this instead of deciding, let's ruin Sonic the Hedgehog and make Knuckles skip leg day? Like, Sonic has already been ruined multiple times. Like, I will completely give that to
Sonic hasn't been good since the GameCube.
But, like, this game is actually really fucking good from what I've seen so far and from what I remember playing it on the 360.
Bronson, did you do the speed test on it? I'm just curious.
No. Like, it makes you do a speed test before downloading it, so, I mean...
Did it tell you what your results were?
No, it just said I could play games and have it work correctly, so... it said good, which... I did.
Good. Okay, yeah, because I remember there is a best. So, I'm sure that's probably... I'm going to try it out, because... I mean, my internet right now, I have super fast internet. I have fiber connected throughout my apartment, and I'm the only one who uses it. So I'm going to try PlayStation Now and see if it's improved since the beta. But during the beta, there was not much input lag.
During beta, I didn't have any of these issues that I'm having right now. But during beta, I didn't have a fucking laptop going on with my phone and my mom's Xbox and my fucking...
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, it also, like, that's another thing, too, is that, depending on your household and whatever quality Wi-Fi you have, if you have some kind of internet hiccup along the line. Whether it's someone's watching, whether the house is trying to watch 5 YouTube videos at once, or someone's clogged up the internet with uploads or something like that, the servers may run into a problem because of your house's Wi-Fi usage.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Obviously, this whole streaming thing, it's not going to be anytime in the near future, but it's just the fact that we're streaming this. I mean, the PlayStation 3 was the latest and greatest console just a couple years ago, and the fact that these games are already being able to be streamed over internet connections is actually quite impressive. I mean, look at internet speeds now versus where they were at 10, 15 years ago.
Let me tell you, 10 years ago, or maybe even more, 5 megabit per second internet is kind of the norm. For cable in my area, at least. Today, 50.
Yeah.
50. So it's 10 times faster now.
Yeah, I remember when we first got high speed in 2001, and it was along the lines of 2 megs, which, I mean, when you compare it to fucking AOL,
was it 2 megs or 2 megabits?
I think it was 2 megs. I'm pretty sure.
I would say it's megabits, because I had 5 megabits in 2003 or 4.
Internet's usually measured in megabits.
Yeah, and one megabit's about 125 kilobytes. So, but back then when you had dial-up, man, 500 kilobytes per second is blazing.
Yeah, dude, 512K was what the fuck?
Go Xbox gaming.
You mean I can listen to this whole I used to be a fan of this radio show in town called Rob, Arnie, and Don. Still kind of listen to their stuff, but and they would post their audio files to listen to online. And all right, that's cool. And on fucking dial-up, it would take an hour to get a 20-minute audio clip, and versus when the second we got that high speed, it was 2 minutes listening.
I remember back in 1990, what was it, in 97 or 98? Need for Speed 3. EA had some DLC. It's DLC, but it was free. Imagine that. This is back when you could download cars and install them into your game for free. And these were maybe 5 or 10 megabyte cars, but I just remember on that dial-up we had to leave the download going for 3 or 4 hours, and it only had to be at night, because when you use dial-up your house phone becomes useless. And obviously we only had one cell phone. Weird plastic brick thing. Well, it wasn't a super brick, but it was still the size of I'd say the 3DS, kind of the size of the 3DS.
I got my first cell phone when I was 13, and it's because I was spending so much, my parents would want me to call in, every hour or so, and, I would go to Yu-Gi-Oh! And Halo tournaments and spend so much money on fucking payphones. They're it's cheaper just to put you on our family plan. Here's a cell phone.
I didn't get my first cell phone until college. So
I didn't get my first nice cell phone until I was 17. I didn't get my first smartphone until my freshman year of college.
If there's something I miss about my first cell phone that I don't get on smartphones today, it's having a real keyboard. It is so nice because you never miss a thing. Whereas on the Android keyboard, at least, it's kind of easy to hit the space key, hit the B key when you want the space, and I don't know, the keyboard's a bit of a pain in the ass on the OGG too.
I don't know. I don't have that many problems on the iPhone, but I do still get the occasional typo.
I'll just say this much for sure. For some reason, my iPod Touch, which is now going to be 5 years old, has a better keyboard, touchscreen keyboard, than my LG G2. What the hell is that?
iOS is known for having pretty much the best on-screen keyboard.
Freaking, you just type so well on it, and I'm freaking using an Android that's new and modern, and I mean, granted, you can buy different keyboards for it, but I just use the default one, and it's not really that great.
I remember when I went from Android to iPhone for the first time, because I've always been on Sprint, and the iPhone didn't used to be on Sprint. So I remember the first iPhone I got, I was just amazed by how well the on-screen keyboard worked after using it.
Dude, let me tell you about the dark ages of going from a Razor to the most basic phone possible to no cell phone to an iPhone 3GS. that was like giving a fucking caveman fire. Like whoa. But I don't know. PlayStation Now, from what I can see here, like I took my phone off Wi-Fi. I'm pretty sure I can't hear it, so I'm guessing the people in the other room aren't using the Xbox, and dropped pretty much everything else but this computer that we're recording this, that I'm talking to you guys on, and my PS4 from the connection, and it seems pretty solid. Like it's not the best. Like you can definitely see like some of the. God damn it! Of course, I get a trophy right as. And you can definitely see like some of the some of the artifacts. You can definitely see you can just generally see some issues, but it's all right. Like I can imagine that with some improvement and like if I were to hook it up wired, I'd probably have be a better experience overall. But not bad.
Here's something that I'm also thinking. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of work to do. Like, obviously, I'm kind of like a person who's not really for the streaming idea because I kind of feel like there's a lot of problems with it before it can even become a mainstream thing. Is obviously because they have to send this thing over the internet, and they probably compress the image, and then have to decompress it YouTube style or something like that.
You're
not getting as sharp of a picture as you could have, which may be a problem if you were going to entire live stream. And I'm sure, like in the future, they'll fix that. But that's just something to keep in mind.
No, I can definitely see the compression. Like it looks like the difference between watching Final Fantasy 13 on a PS3 versus on an Xbox.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which, yeah. I don't know. So
I can't believe I bought the wrong version of the game, but I only had a 360 at the time.
Yeah, you didn't have any other fucking choice.
Yeah, it's like I wanted to play 13, but I didn't have a PlayStation yet, so
yeah. Well,
bought the 3-disc version.
That was a really crazy week for games because it was like Final Fantasy, God of War, and Yakuza all in the same week.
And only two of them people cared about.
Yeah, it's a real shame that Yakuza, doesn't get the love it deserves.
But this year it will again.
Yeah, because if it's as good as people say, then we'll probably give it. You and I will probably fight for it in the Game of the Year awards.
Oh yeah, against Phantom Pain. There's a lot.
Anthony, I'm going to be honest. I will help you with Yakuza, but eventually I'm going to have to carry the Persona train.
And then stab Zelda? No.
Fucking.
You can go on top of a mountain. See that mountain over there? You can climb it. It hasn't been done before.
I'm telling you right now, Zelda needs to die for Persona to live.
We're starting this, and it's only like the 14th day of the year.
Yeah, well, we fucked up bad this year. We fucked up real bad.
Frickin'.
This is what we get for not playing Dragon Age on time. That's what I'm considering. So, those of you who watched our Game of the Year videos, which, Nick, did you see our overall top 10 list?
Yeah, I saw it. I totally disagree.
Well, yes, you should, because Far Cry's at number 9 and Dragon Age Inquisition is not that good. Well, it's not as good
much better
as other
than
games.
a 9. Bronson, did you play Far Cry 4?
I did. I really liked it. I just thought that I would say, honestly, I would have been completely okay with Far Cry being 5 or 6.
It should have at least been in the top 5.
But John really loves Shadows of Mordor, and he pushed for it to be in the top 5 really hard.
I tried that game. I don't get it.
My games that I pushed for were the games that I was pushing for were obviously Bayonetta. I was pushing for Bayonetta super hard,
agree with.
And I was pushing for Dark Souls.
Which
I get why that game is. That game, I respect Dark Souls. I think it's a great game. I wish I had more time to get good at it. That's my thing with Dark Souls. If Dark Souls, Dark Souls is one of those games that I respect it. I want to play more of it, but I also recognize that Man, if you like that's why I was willing to let it be like no, as low as it was at like number 8 because it was one of those cases of like, yeah, okay, this is no one besides Brevin is gonna understand why the fuck this game is awesome. But anyway, Anthony and I didn't play Dragon Age, and John very much did, and so did Brevin. In fact, it was Brevin's number 1. And so we kind of had to trust their opinion. And, like, I argued for Bayonetta hardcore. Like, Anthony knows that Bayonetta 2 might be one of my favorite games of all time when I let, like, some time go by and settle on that thought.
Bayonetta 2 for me was surprisingly good. And I like a game that's surprisingly good because it's very rare that I ever get wowed like that. It's cheesy, but it understands that. It's fun even on the easiest difficulty setting. I love doing combos. It blows my mind away. Like the first time you go into the Gates of Paradise was like, what?
Dude, do you remember that level after you fought the devil where you had to ride the devil's horse? Like,
dude,
fuck,
that was sweet.
Oh my god.
That was the most exciting game. I mean, like Smash was kind of up there, but Smash was fun because you just know that. Like for me, Bayonetta, I was really surprised how much fun I had.
I expected Bayonetta to be good, but I was like, okay, is it really gonna match this hype of like this is the next like God of War 3 style game of this type? And yeah, absolutely. Like this game is fucking. Every bit of that game was awesome. If you have a Wii U, you should play it. It is almost. I would say it is almost worth buying a Wii U to play that game.
It is so good. It's got lots of style. That's the other cool thing too. It's not just that it was good and had combo gameplay, but it had so much style to it while you're doing it.
The music's great. Looks beautiful. But enough about Bayonetta 2. We need to bitch about Dragon Age.
Okay, here's what I think about Dragon Age, considering that I'm probably on the second or third last story quest, because I'm pushing to finish it. It's good for a Western RPG, but it's a safe, reliable, no heavy risks, good, going sort of back to fundamentals kind of RPG, but the problem with Dragon Age for me is that nothing about it stands out to me as far as I could tell. I mean, like, yeah, the gameplay is good, but the thing is that this is not Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, Dragon Age Origins BioWare. This is Mass Effect 3, Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age Inquisition BioWare, where their games play a lot better now, but the gameplay doesn't exactly stand out too much, and the writing talent has kind of fallen down the hill a bit. So the story doesn't actually wow you the way their old stories used to. So you're kind of left with a reliable game that just doesn't really stand out to me.
So I played it, and I'm not a fan of Western RPGs, as everyone knows. I think that genre is bad. But I decided to give it a chance. Like, occasionally a game surprises. Mass Effect surprised me. Yeah, I need to give games the chance to surprise me. So I was like, all right, game. Be this magical game that Bremen and John will not stop talking about. and I played it. And as is every BioWare game, it opens kind of strong. I kind of don't really give a crap about the plot because it's poorly explained. But hey, it keeps it interesting. And then I get into the combat, and I was like, ugh, why does everything feel so sluggish and bad?
It's supposed to be a tactical game, that's why.
Yeah,
you're supposed to pause it, issue about 50 different orders to your crew, and resume time, then stop and give them another 20 orders. Well, at least I imagine what it's like playing on the hardest difficulty setting.
Well, I mean, this goes into my next point is, like, I felt the combat was actually, like, at first, it feels really overwhelming. Like, I feel like I'm controlling an entire fucking MMO party at the same time. Even when I pause it, I'm just like, oh god, did I make the right choices? And then when you're playing it like an action game, it's just not fun. Like, it is like, I compare that to, like, even Mass Effect, and I'm just like, this feels really clunky and poorly made, and why am I playing this? And then I got to, I'd say Dragon Age Origins. I got about 8 hours into it before saying fuck this. With their constant making me be everybody's fucking errand boy. This game should have been called.
You don't think your MMOs do that? Here, collect this, 5 of this, and bring it to me. Now you take this item to this person, who will now issue you 5 more collect this items.
You know what? You have a good point with that, but at minimum, an MMO at least gives me the fucking, like, progress. You know, it feeds the need for progress that I have, versus this, which I don't really get it. Like, I don't feel like I'm, getting that much stronger or that much better. But
it takes time to go. That's the thing.
Yeah, and because you're trying to make the Inquisition better. Like I was saying, it feels like Errand Boy, the video game. Like, I'm supposed to be this mighty hero. Go feed these people. Go get my horses. It feels like an MMO, but single player, and without any of the parts that make an MMO interesting. Which, real shame. Narrative, I'm not super into. Like, maybe it gets better later, but I stand by my Final Fantasy 13 argument. If I have to play it for 10 hours to really, really like it, then fuck that. Because, say what you want about World of Warcraft being slow, like, at least some of those beginning quests in Elwyn Forest had me intrigued and wanting to explore. And yeah, like, I just generally don't like, what the fuck are John and Bremen on, is what I'm saying with that. Like, had I played this, I would not have let it get into the top 5. Like, I would have said, fuck that. Shadows of Mordor, sure. I get that game. I understand why you would, like, it wasn't my cup of tea, but I understand why you would say Shadows of Mordor is awesome. I don't fucking get these crazy people who are like, Dragon Age, Game of the Year. Because it's won fucking Game of the Year at the Game Awards and IGN and a bunch of other publications, and I'm just like, the fuck are you people on?
I'm confused about that, too. It's like, well, I know this is kind of more like Gamecast material, but it's just like, there's so much to do, and the story is so great. Well, here's the problem I found with Dragon Age Inquisition. There was next to no one in that game that I cared about romancing whatsoever. It's not like in Dragon Age Origins or Mass Effect 1, 2, or even 3, where there was actually a romance option that I kind of cared about. In Inquisition, I didn't care about most of the characters, and the only people I could think of off the top of my head that were remotely interesting is Varric, who is from Dragon Age 2, Dorian, and Iron Bolt. That's it. There's like only 3 people, and there's like freaking so many others there, but I just kind of didn't care for them.
That, I feel the game just really lacks direction, which is just my problem with the genre of Western RPGs in general.
At the beginning, it really feels like that because the hinterlands suck at the start.
Yeah, like they just say, fucking go do shit in the hinterlands, and I'm just like, wait, what do you mean? Where the fuck do I go? And they give me no context for anything, and I'm just like, okay, well, I guess I'll go try and do the main quest, I guess. I don't fucking know. I think I would have been fine with pretty much any other game on that list except for Child of Light being Game of the Year. This game, just, I don't get it. It's another Fallout 3 to me. I
wouldn't say it's a Fallout 3, but, and here's the thing, I'm usually...
Well, I'm talking for me personally. Like, okay. I'm not talking, like, for me personally, this is another Fallout 3, where I'm just like, I don't get it.
Yeah, for me, it's not really a Fallout 3, but it's kind of like, normally I'm a sucker for these kinds of games.
Which,
for sure, I'm a sucker for...
That should say fucking everything that you don't want to play more of it. That should say fucking everything.
It's like, I'm normally a sucker for BioWare games, having played all the Mass Effects and Dragon Ages up to this point, including Awakening, but I don't know, just... I kind of don't get it.
Just
it's good. It's like, I think it's good. It's a reliable game. It's a safe choice. It's a good choice.
I think you just described my personal experience with the game. Just
yeah. Well, I just don't think it's like I just think of it more as well, it's good, but I'm not feeling it. And I understand the argument that, if it's a game that you can't put down and stop playing, it's therefore a good game. I kind of get that. Freaking, I'm like 32 hours in.
Yeah.
And aside
from what, I don't agree with that argument because I played 20 hours of Fallout 3, and let me tell you, I don't.
Well, I'm talking about like 32 hours that I am actually willing to put in and more. I'm not like saying 32 hours that I forced myself to do. It's 32 hours that I actually played and willingly played.
Even then, I'm not.
Even then, even then, it's not completely okay because I freaking actually had the will to finish Final Fantasy 13 all 55 hours of it.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, hey man,
55 hours of that thing. Oh my goodness! I actually finished Final Fantasy 13.
I mean, granted, like I have a high, and as I get older, my tolerance for this type of game just gets shorter and shorter and shorter. That well, just oh man. And what's funny about this is I I'm going to be reviewing Criminal Girls soon. Like I intend to either rent a copy or we're going to get a review copy from NIS, and that's a hardcore JRPG. And I'm going to throw 20 hours at it and probably think it's okay. Because part of my big problem with Western RPGs is that you lack so much fucking direction, and that's part of why I like Mass Effect. Mass Effect gave me direction. It didn't say, go make your own fun in this interesting world. It's like, no. Goals. You like those, right? I'm like, yes, I do.
But that's Dragon Age.
Yeah, Bayonetta 2 is the real game of the year.
I'm not joking. As I approach the end of the game, I am realizing, oh my goodness, the biggest selling point of a BioWare game is not really there anymore. That's how I feel about it.
What?
Because the thing is that BioWare games in the past, they have been known to have mediocre gameplay, but made it out with insanely awesome stories and worlds. Dragon Age Inquisition, solid game, reliable gameplay, good world, loss of writing talent.
I'm just glad that I just don't want to put more time into it. And I put 4 hours into it. I'm just like, yep, I'm fine.
Okay.
Not playing this ever again is A-okay with me. So just so everyone knows, Bayonetta 2 is the real game of the year.
We're gonna line veto that shit.
Yeah.
Line item veto.
Yeah. Have people do a bunch of surveys on it. I don't know. Nick, what do you think of the overall all top 10 list other than your Far Cry experiences?
Let's run through the order again,
okay,
and I'll tell you what I think.
It's okay, so 10 is Child of Light.
Yeah, I don't know how that made it. Well, I do know how it made it because of the girls, but I heavily disagree.
That was their game of the year. Like, that was the game that they were pushing for, and like everyone's number one makes the list typically. Like, whatever everyone has typically makes the list, and that's what they fucking wanted. So it's like, all right, you guys got it.
9 was Far Cry 4. 8 was Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
7 is Mario Kart 8.
Great game.
6 is Infamous Second Son.
Another great game.
5 is Shadow of Mordor.
That game I did not get whatsoever.
4 is Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
Not my kind of game.
3 is Smash Brothers. 2 is Bayonetta, and then there's Dragon Age.
So this year, I knew this was gonna happen before you guys even did this. There was nothing extreme that I was extremely passionate about this year. Like, yeah, definitely think Far Cry 4 should have been in the top 5 without a question. But there was nothing that was like, oh my gosh, this has to make it. Like, it's not like some of the past years. Like when Portal beat Uncharted.
That was correct. We made the right choice there.
Nick, you've got Uncharted 4 coming to take that fight.
Oh no! This coming year is gonna be hell. There's just so many good games.
Batman versus Metal Gear versus Uncharted versus Persona versus Yakuza versus Zelda.
Can you imagine how crazy it is? It's like one gigantic cluster F of Smash fighting each other. It's like you got the Treasure dude versus the Yakuza dude versus the Batman dude versus the CQC dude. It's like a Smash Brother fight, and it's probably equally as hectic because it's like 8-player Smash. Just can't fight.
I'm telling you, I can already see how this is going to go. Bremen is going to back Batman. Bremen's going to back Metal Gear. John's going to back Batman. Nick's going to back Uncharted. I'm going to back Persona. The girls are going to back Zelda.
And that's what those are, and we're going to have 5 people fighting for the number 1 spot.
Yeah, like we're going to have so many people trying to gun for number 1. Like, here's the thing: I think Zelda could pull it off. Like, I think Zelda has.
Well, we have to wait to play these games. You never know. The next Zelda could be a huge disappointment.
I mean, yeah, like. If these games
the next Uncharted could be awful. Who knows?
This is true. Persona 5 could be fucking garbage. You know, like,
man, that hurts when you say it.
It does.
Trust me, I don't want it to be. I really hope it's not.
Feel the pain already.
We don't want any of this to happen, but
we want it to be a point where we're like, damn, all 5 of these games could be a number 1. We want it to be that good.
But there are no ties.
Like we want to argue the merits of fucking Zelda versus whatever, you know, like we want that. And granted, like knowing everyone's personal tastes, I really do think that it could come down to a 3-way fight of Zelda versus Batman versus Uncharted.
It's like the one with the biggest. It's like the ones with the most popular vote behind it.
Yeah,
this year. Why did Smash Brothers get so high on the list? It's because it's the game that was most agreeable.
Yeah, I think that I think Batman could has a very, because I'm a big comic book fan. Like, I'm a huge comic book fan, and I could see John being like, well, Bronson, I'm not gonna vote for fucking Persona, so you need to get on some train right now. And it's like, fine, I'll back fucking Batman. And Uncharted, all these games look great too. Like, that's the thing. Like, all of them, from what we have seen of each of them, look awesome. Like, I love the idea of a Zelda where it's like where it's like a Link Between Worlds, but it's at the scale of a bigger Zelda. So
cool. You guys want to stay tuned to that? Only a year to go. Well, less than a year now, but you get the point.
Yeah, we got the order in a month.
11 months to go.
But
hold on.
Cool.
We got questions?
Well, hold up. I have a couple more news stories after this. I know this is a super long episode, but so yeah, wrapping up PlayStation Now. This is why it's called Unscripted. You guys see yourself subscribing at any point?
Probably not, just because, like, 1, I like to own my games when I like them enough, and 2, I already pay for GameFly. And I need to keep GameFly to keep 60-minute access going, so,
How about you, Anthony?
I don't think I ever will, because it's like all the PS3 games that I ever wanted to play, I kind of already have them, and if I do want to try a PS3 game, well, I could borrow one from Bronson. And also, do I really $20 a month? Usually for me, games, I only play games when I'm really interested in them, and even if they are great games, if I have no interest in them, I'm gonna get bored really fast. That's just how things usually are. And like I said, on PS3, I've already played every PS3 game that I really wanted to, and PlayStation Now just has a PS3 catalog on it, so it's like, I see no need right now.
You should use the trial and play Batman. Or
I could borrow Batman, because it could take me more than 7 days to finish.
You should probably borrow. You should probably rent Saints Row and beat it because I only have that digital. So anyway, what's the next news story?
All right, so next, huge surprise here, guys. You guys ready? This is a groundbreaking announcement.
Oh boy!
Microsoft announced Forza Motorsport 6. Huge surprise. I know no one was expecting this, but so Microsoft announced Forza Motorsport 6. It will be exclusive to the Xbox One and will be featuring the new Ford GT that was shown off at CES.
No, the Detroit Auto Show, I think.
Yeah, that's why I'm sorry.
Dude, Bronson, there's a new Ford GT and it looks amazing. Did you see it?
No.
I will show you a picture. You'll love this.
I haven't trained. But gentlemen, I will be right back because I have to use the restroom.
Okay, well,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Like, normally I don't get stoked about supercars, but wow, that Ford GT looks amazing.
Well, they did show the Ford GT at CES, so that's why I got confused.
The Ford GT, the original Ford GT is one of my favorite cars, but I'll be right back.
Oh, the new one looks amazing.
Just gave the Bronson the link and all that kind of stuff, but. Well, you know what? I'm kind of not surprised because whenever it comes to racing games, it's basically
Forza pretty much the cycle is going to be Motorsport 1 year, Horizon the next.
Yeah, that's what it's been.
Next year we're going to get Horizon 3.
Yeah, that's what it's been like since Forza 4, I think, or 3. One of those.
Since Forza 4. They had Forza 4, then it was Forza Horizon.
Yeah, and then 5, and then Horizon 2.
And then Horizon 2.
Yeah.
I was not that big of a fan of the first Horizon. So Horizon 2, I was not really looking forward to at all. But as soon as I played it, they hooked me so much. I'm actually playing it right now. I'm playing Horizon 2.
Oh, and Forza's great. Like, I keep...
So good. Like, I was playing Drive Club the other day, and here's my thing with Drive Club. Well, first of all, that weather they added looks unbelievable.
Did you see how the water moves just like how the real-life rain would? Depending on whether you're braking or cornering or just flat out accelerating, it's wow.
It was amazing. But here's my thing with Drive Club. It is super like it's almost a thing where it's like an identity crisis because it's like, don't get me wrong, I love the game, but it's like tries to be a simulation while offering an arcade experience. And I understand. I loved Project Gotham. That's kind of what you can kind of compare Drive Club to. But they made that game way too difficult. When it gets to a certain point, like for example, I finished the whole original series, and they came out with all this like free downloadable content to kind of make up for all the launch disasters or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like I can barely get any stars at all, and it's just like it's to the point where it's like it's not fun at all because they made it so difficult between the rubber band AI and then the fact that, I mean, don't get me wrong, I understand why they didn't do it, but racing games for years have been doing the racing line, which makes it a lot easier when you're so used to it. To me, my thing is that there's all this like downloadable content. I really want to play it. But the thing is, it's just so difficult. Like the times, I can't even get close to. And I'm driving relatively well. I can't even get close to these time trials. And then the races are unbelievably difficult.
So I understand.
Yeah, it takes.
For some reason, I am like one of those people that like, I got every star except 2 in the original.
How about, well, I think I got most of the stars there as well, but how have you done on the downloadable content?
I actually did not play it. I tried one, and I'm like, yep. Yeah, not going to take the time to figure out this driving mechanic.
Yeah.
It's like I could... The problem with the handling in that game is that once you get really used to it, you can finally exploit it. But the problem is that you can never figure out if you're going a little too fast or a little too slow. It's hard to find that sweet spot, and it just makes it hard to get fast lap times. But,
yeah.
Anyways, that's Drive Club. Forza. Freaking, like, lately, like, man, there are times when I wish I had an Xbox One because lately I've been plugging in my 360 a lot to play Forza 4. There's just something about me going through the car.
You'd have the Forza, you'd have your Xbox One as your Forza box, just like me.
Yeah, it would be my Forza box. And you know what? I'll be using it a lot.
Well, hold on, what's a Forza box? I have a Halo box.
It's like you buy an Xbox for like that one thing.
Yeah, I'm a huge. Pretty much, that's all I've played. Like I said, I played some of the original games like Rise. I actually enjoyed Rise. I think it was a lot better than people gave credit for. I enjoyed Rise. Dead Rising 3 I did not like. Forza Motorsport 5 I loved. And then Sunset Overdrive. Then Titanfall. And after Titanfall, all I would play was Forza Motorsport 5. And then I got Forza Horizon 2 and played the mess out of that. And then Sunset Overdrive came out, so I was playing Sunset Overdrive, beat that. And then since then, once again, it's been all Forza Horizon 2. I want to get the DLC. It's $20, which is quite expensive, but it seems worth it.
You need your cars. Lately,
and I'm like huge. Well, it's not just that; they added a lot as far as like the areas you can go to and stuff. But
that's good.
Yeah, but I'm just a huge Forza fan. Like I said, Forza Motorsport 5, if anyone knows how the driver levels work, I almost hit level 300. That tells you how much I love freaking Forza. Now, don't get me wrong, I played it for like an entire year. Like, it's not like I got to level 300 in a month or anything like that. I was playing it consistently. Like, here's the thing. Like, you have those games that you play for a couple weeks, that you play them, like, hardcore, and then you, like, almost never play them again. But for me, like, it's the same thing with Madden. Like, Forza and Madden are games I will play.
Madden's that same way for me. Like, I will consistently play Madden, and then when I go to game night and punk John and anyone else who wants to play me.
Don't get me wrong, I'm pretty good at Madden. I don't know what Bronson does, because Bronson's just unfucking believable. You can't stop the dude. Like,
you can. You just have to be able to do it and score against him. Because I can stop Bronson. I just can't score against him for some reason, because my offense is just hilariously bad.
So maybe that's the way we beat Bronson, Anthony. I play offense, you play defense.
Yeah, it's really obvious to Bronson,
but I can't stop him.
It's really obvious to Bronson that I make a great defensive coordinator in Madden, at least. Frickin', I would give he struggled in an NCAA online game, and I gave him some advice, and they actually stopped the running game. I don't know how. I just called out some random stuff. Offensively, yeah, you don't want to ask me about that ever. I'm sorry.
And even Anthony, I can put a good 21 points on at least.
Yes, but at least that's better than the 45 you are used to dumping on other people's heads.
That's true. No,
21 is not. Yes, it's still 21 points, but at least that is not like a blowout. You 21 isn't gonna blow out anybody, but it kind of gives at least the offense a fighting chance.
Like, Anthony hates playing against my offense because it's just like I look at the.
You call like 17. No, well, here's the thing that I'm kind of proud of is that you call 17 different audibles per offensive play, and I still stop you from scoring. I still managed to get you to score only like 21 or 25, even though you called like. Of course, I imagine. Although I imagine with the current Madden roster, it's not going to be more like I can stop you from scoring 40, because the Chicago defense is that bad now. But anyways, Forza.
Dan Greenwald. Okay, sorry. Continue, Bronson.
Sorry, go ahead. No, I was saying, I played all three of you, and Nick has kind of I can point out the holes in each of your game. Anthony, it's just you don't know how to audible on offense, so you don't know how to there are several times where if I was playing myself in your situation, that you probably could have scored. Nick, it's that you have a game plan and you don't deviate from it, so it ends up just being once I figure out your strategy, I can abuse it. And then John, he was too conservative on offense to start the game.
Okay. But Forza, okay, so yes, I would have a Forza box, because lately I've been plugging my 360 in to play Forza 4. There's just something about me looking through that entire car list, buying some junky Chevy for $8,000, and then putting a Corvette 01 engine in it, and then going fast and figuring out why I can't go around corners. There's just something cool about that. It's just the customizability is so cool, and
See, I have this racing game called Burnout that hasn't been around for, at this point, 7 years.
Oh, yes, I did plug my 360 to play Burnout for footage for Bronson Rants, which should be up by now. Yes. Wow, I am weird. That game seems more fun to me today than it was when I first
Dude,
played it.
it's Burnout Paradise is so fucking good.
I know. It's great. It's like it's strange. It's more fun now than it was when I first played it.
That's what they should have made an HD remake of.
Well, it is already HD, honestly. It just need to make a new Burnout.
Well, yeah, a remaster.
It looks
Burnout
really
Paradise remastered.
Can I just say the game looks really good.
If you really want to play that game in 1080p, 60 frames, just play it on the PC. And even on the PC, like even on PC, that game does not require. Like, if you want to max that game, I was maxing that game on my M11X, so you can max that game.
But it looks really good.
It looks great.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, yeah, but Bronson, I listened to your Bronson rants, and EA kind of indirectly announced, maybe not Burnout Paradise, but the next Burnout, kind of, because they announced the game. They didn't give it a name, and they just announced it was going to be like cars, bikes, freaking planes, like all types of crazy stuff.
So now we get to live the fantasy of what we did in GTA. Now get to apply it to Burnout, where cars just take out bikers now.
I'm so in the mood for more Burnout. Like, I've been playing, I'm playing Burnout Paradise on my laptop, and Jesus, man, just I want another one. I want another fucking Burnout, please.
But Slick,
I kind of want to like pull this back, but Forza. Yeah. Bronson, did you see the link to the new Ford GT?
Yes.
It's sick.
It's a sweet car. And, it's like, Forza 6 is coming. And I hope it's more substantial than Forza 5, because obviously I understand if you have to trim a car list because you can't turn them all into Xbox One credible cars quite that quickly.
It's like that like it was a launch game.
And it was a launch game, but it's like Forza 6, and it's like, well, I hope the driving physics is better, because Forza 5 seems to be slightly better than Forza 4 in driving. And, I hope there's, like, more tracks, and it's going to be pretty, and every car's an Auto Vista, and that's cool and all. It's just, I don't know. I have this thing against Forza all the time, which is they seem to care more about the car list and, making cars look good than the actual driving, because I'm pretty sure to the average man who buys Forza, as long as it sort of feels like the real thing, it's good enough. When really, driving Lamborghini in real life is supposed to be terrifying.
So Forza, I'm excited to play more Forza. I think it's finally time for me to buy one, because I skipped Horizon, I skipped 5, I skipped Horizon 2.
Oh, dude, you've got to get Horizon 2 when it hits the bargain bin or something.
I rented it. I thought it was really good.
Well, bargain bin is
amazing.
Good. It will be very cheap in the bargain bin. They sell a lot of those.
Yeah, so I think 6 is the time I'm going to jump back on the Forza train. And like you guys said, my Xbox, Halo, Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct Season 2 it's been so good. It's been so goddamn good. Also, I forgot to mention this during the Game of the Year stuff. Nick, Persona 4 Ultimax is probably going to make the top 5 no matter what, because John Brevin and I literally play it every single week at game night. Every single week. And then now we've got Anthony on at game night with us. You do realize when TGA has a full office, we're gonna have like a weekly game night now, right?
That'd be fun. That'd be lots of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, fun fact: did you know the Ford GT is the first time an American car was on the cover of a Forza Motorsport game, at least?
Oh yeah, because I know that.
I don't know about Horizon. I didn't check on Horizon. But
I think it was that Lambo that they showed at E3.
Oh yeah, that's Horizon 2. I forgot whether it was Horizon 1. But let's see, Forza 1 had an Acura NSX and a Nissan 350Z. Forza 2 was a Nissan 350Z. Forza 3 was an Audi R8, and Forza 4 was a Ferrari 458 Italia. And now they put a Ford GT on Forza 6.
What was 5?
Forza 5? Oh, it was a
Ferrari.
Another Ferrari. What?
Forza 5 was a Ferrari, wasn't it?
Let me check right now. It was a McLaren. It was a McLaren.
Oh, McLaren.
It was a McLaren
yeah, it was
P1.
I remember
That's
now.
right.
It's a P1. That thing that they drag to the stage and just lift it up and say, "Look, we've got the most special car by our game."
Yeah, I remember I was at E3 when they announced. Obviously, that was the E3 before last year, and I I remember they blocked, as they do every year. Microsoft always has one lane blocked off so that he can drive the expensive car they're going to show when they reveal the game on stage. But they didn't do that this year. They just had the car chilling outside the convention center, outside
making
the building.
a little bit of noise.
Yeah.
But that's because the fucking Sunset Overdrive bus was driving around the fucking set.
Yeah, but I remember because that McLaren's like a $2 million
It depends
car.
what it is. Is it the P1?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing is like $1.5 million at least.
I remember imagine being the guy that has to drive that into the place on the stage.
You should try driving that. I mean, great. You have to be like a driver level 35 to unlock it, but to drive that car in Drive Club is scary as hell because in Drive Club they actually went through the trouble of simulating its electric bits and the spoiler, and there's a button that allows you to lower the drag of that spoiler, but of course the problem is you have no downforce in the back, so the back end of the car would be flying around and skating around. It's so scary when you're going 190 miles an hour with the back end of the car just waiting to kill you. It's man. Yeah,
but before we move on, just a quick quote from Dan Greenewalt, who's the creative director at Turn 10 Studios. He said, quote, "Just as Ford has pushed the boundaries of car technology in GT, Forza Motorsport 6 will embrace that spirit of innovation as our most technically advanced racing simulation to date, offering a fun and realistic automotive experience for both car lovers and gamers. We're excited to unveil gameplay at E3 in June."
Well, duh, of course they'll say that. Hey, Bronson, here's something that might bum you out about the new Ford GT. It doesn't have a V8 engine. It has a turbocharged EcoBoost V6. Yeah, it doesn't have a V8. Okay. I mean, that's like one of the things that I personally felt made the original GT so great. It had like that awesome V8 exhaust note with a supercharger to it. So that's giving way to a turbo V6 now.
I know, Bronson, you were planning to buy one, but now you can't.
Yeah.
You want?
Yeah, obvi.
Yeah.
It only costs as much as a house. But here's the thing too that I think that's great about.
Yeah, remember, man, we're on that TGA money, man.
Yeah.
Everyone driving exotic cars.
And think about it, Bronson. It's a Ford GT, not a Ferrari GT, so it's cheaper than a Ferrari. It only costs as much as a small house.
Well, I mean,
it's a car that costs the price of a big house.
Yeah. No. Well, yeah, the TGA parking lot, just all exotic cars.
I would drive like a Porsche 911 Turbo S. Bronson has a Ford GT. Nick?
I'd have a Lamborghini Murcielago for sure.
You want the Murcielago or the Aventador?
Oh, the Aventador,
or
yeah.
Or the Hurricane. The one you saw at E3 was the Hurricane.
No, I'd take the Aventador. I like the Aventador better.
I don't know what Bremen and John would drive.
Bremen would probably drive a Nissan
GTR.
That's just okay. That came out wrong. I should have just said GTR. I should have said Nissan.
Driving a Nissan.
Oh wow.
At least I knew you meant the GTR. At least I knew that you meant a GTR and not some Econobox Versa.
Oh wow.
That came out totally wrong. I did.
Yeah, it did.
Why do I feel like if I were to look at John, because he likes, I don't know, like I look at John, he likes metal, right? I don't know why I look at him and I imagine he would drive like some muscle car from like the 60s or early 70s.
I could see it.
I do love
the Audi R8 too, though. The R8s are so sexy, dude. Those cars are amazing.
So as long as we're talking about expensive things, my tax return's coming. I'm buying a new TV.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You're getting yet?
I'm not sure yet. I'm leaning towards Samsungs because they're cheap and high quality. Cheap-ish, I should say. They're not like Vizio, but they're still cheap. It's like I want to keep the same size, so 50-inch TV. If I can get bigger, great. But otherwise, looking for 50 inches.
Yeah, you got these new consoles, but you got an ancient TV, dude. You got to upgrade.
Yeah, well, that was the point. Like, it was going to be...
Here's the thing, though, is that thing does 1080p, but I've seen 1080p LCDs, and I'm just like, it kind of looks a little blurred in a way.
Well,
I'm not joking. Like, you get yourself a 1080p and you plug it in, you're going to be like, color.
Well, no, I've already seen that shit on my mom's TV, that 24-inch out front.
Oh, right. But just imagine it bigger.
But huge, yeah. Like, that's... yeah, no, I'm definitely looking into different TVs. Like, it's either gonna be a Samsung or an LG, because LG has some good sets too, and they're actually really cheap. Like that, like I found a 55-inch 1080p LED TV for 540. So
see, every time I hear 1080p TV prices, my brain just boggles because my brain is stuck in the 2010 right now. Just thinking of back when that kind of TV would cost you at least $1,000.
Just make sure you get one that's at least 120 hertz for sure.
Yeah, I know for sure.
And also turn off whatever gimmicky motion blending stuff they have in there because it just makes your games look weird. It also makes movies look weird. I don't know why they do that stuff to make your movie look like it's running at a 60 frames per second, but it just looks awkward to me.
So I'm looking for something $650 or less. Versus, because I'm selling my TV that I have right now for $250. Because it may be an older TV, but $250 for a 50-inch HD TV, that's not bad. So I don't know. There are a couple of different Samsungs I'm looking into. There are a couple different LGs. Like I'm just, this is my checklist: 1080p, 120 hertz, LED or OLED. And at minimum 3 HDMI ports. Because this is one of the dumbest things that I'm going to complain about right now. But my current TV only has 2 HDMI ports, and it fucking sucks.
Ooh.
Fucking horrible.
Yeah, mine has 4. So
I think 4 is the norm.
Ideally, I would want 4. Because I have 4 different things that use HDMI. But
I use 3. I use my PS4, my Xbox One, and my PC. My bedroom, I have my PlayStation 3 and 360, which is to another TV.
I have my PS3, my PS4, my Xbox One, and my Wii U. So that's what I'm looking for. So I don't know, what is your guys' opinion on Vizio? Because I have very much considered that route just because of price.
Vizios are decent TVs.
If you're looking to get a 50 or 55 for under $650, I would say it's better to get a mid to high end Vizio than to get a low end Samsung or low end LG for sure.
So, and here's the thing, I'm looking at fucking Vizio prices right now. It's a 50-inch 1080p smart LED for $522. And it's $750 for a 60-inch, and I'd be willing to throw that extra 100 down to get a fucking 60-inch. Granted, in this current room, it would pretty much eat that entire wall. It would just Anthony knows I have Anthony. My room's what, 12 by 12 about?
It's pretty small.
Oh damn, that's a small room.
It's a very small house.
You're gonna put a 60-inch in a 12 by 12 room? Holy shit!
Yeah, dude. I already have a 50-inch, so fuck it. Let's go all the way with this.
Wall up your TV. Just.
Well, I mean that's what my dad used to do. He had a huge room, and he put a 65-inch. So I mean, just fuck it. That's go.
My dilemma. I have a Sony, which is 46, but it's their top of the line LED from 2 years ago, and it's gotten too small for me. I want to get something bigger, so I'm debating on getting a new TV this year. But the thing is, what I'll probably do, because I have a 50-inch Vizio in my bedroom that I got for Black Friday, because it was for Black Friday 2 years ago, and it's a 50-inch LED, and I got it for $400. It's a good TV for the price. But then for this one, I'm thinking about selling this TV and getting another new one. Because this one, I was like, maybe I'll put the Sony in the bedroom. But I'm like, nah, it's too fucking good of a TV to have in my bedroom.
Nah, fuck no, dude. You fucking put the Sony in the bedroom, get an even newer, better one for the living room?
Well, no,
Fuck
but,
yeah.
no, but the thing is, I'm thinking about selling it because.
Oh, okay.
Because the thing is, my Vizio is just fine for my bedroom, to be honest. Usually in my bedroom, I put the TV on just to go to sleep to, and that's about it. So for just Netflix, you're not going to see too big of a difference. So I can probably sell this TV price for at least $700, $800 because it's, like I said, it's Sony's top of the line from a couple years ago. So, but I'm thinking about if I'm getting a new TV, I might as well just go 4K. But the only thing is, I want to test out the upscaling myself because I want to make sure that shit's not going to look garbage when I mean, I'm sure it's not, but I want to test out
So
I want to test out the 4K upscaling myself with the games before I get to 4K.
I'll say this: I'm definitely not going into a store to buy a TV. Like I'm gonna order it fucking online. Reason is because like one, none of them are fucking calibrated correctly anyway, and then I have to find a way to get it to my house because I don't have a car anymore. So I mean that means I have to order a cab or have John or someone with a truck help. It's like fuck that. It's shipped here. I don't know, but another reason I'm not doing it in a store and I'm just gonna measure is because last time I bought a TV was when I bought this thing, and like 50 inches in the store seemed kind of small-ish.
Oh yeah, all TVs, they look a hell of a lot bigger when you put them in your house.
Yeah, like it looked kind of smallish, and at the time I had a way bigger room. My last room was like fucking 30 by 12. It was weird, man. It was a fucking huge room. Like, in any context, I put a queen bed and a futon and still had a shit ton of room. So, and like, I put the 50-inch there. I was like, holy shit, that thing is big. Like, I was surprised. I was like, maybe a 50-inch will be that big when I like looked at it in the store, and then I get it home, and it's like, dear fucking god.
Yeah.
And now I'm just so accustomed to gaming on a 50-inch television that I can't go back. I can't go back, Anthony.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know. They got some good deals here on Amazon that I'll probably dig through. Like this one right here seems just about perfect. Like 55 inches, $600.
She told me
4
she
HDMI
will be
ports,
going
120 hertz,
somewhere after
1080p.
class today.
Like that.
She's saying goodbye to her
pretty
friend
fucking
because
good.
her friend is heading back to Mexico
like
tomorrow.
that sounds just perfect, pretty much.
Yeah.
Do you want me to call?
All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap up the last news story I have
She is
very
with her best
quickly.
friend, who's heading back
So
to
Phil
Mexico tomorrow.
Spencer, who is now the head of Xbox, thank God.
No.
You see what happens when Don Matrick leaves and Phil Spencer comes in.
I always did hate Don Matrick, so
Yeah, but yeah, unfortunately, Bronson never had the chance to attack Don Matrick at E3.
I mean, he might be there in, like, a capacity for Zynga. I could still choke him with a, like, charging cable.
At least he's not ruining a company you care about anymore, though.
Yeah, now he's just ruining Zynga, which who fucking cares about that tire fire?
Yeah, but cool. So a requested feature for the Xbox One that the PlayStation 4 has had since launch is a screenshot feature. We still don't have it.
Why? Like, the one thing that, like, I'd be okay with that if I could just at least post the clips. That because you can record clips, just say Xbox record that.
Right.
Why the fuck can I post those to Facebook yet?
Yeah, but so someone tweeted at Phil Spencer and said, "Hey Phil, screenshots coming in January because Microsoft's been doing this thing where they come out with monthly firmware updates." And Phil Spencer responded with, "Not January, but soon." So who knows? Maybe February, maybe March. We'll finally have the screenshot feature.
That's fine, but this feature is literally useless to me without it being able to go to Facebook. Like,
Can it go to YouTube?
The videos can. Like, I know they can, but like I don't. Which, yeah, I guess you could do it the roundabout way. Also, I'm continue TV shopping, and goddamn it, I'm mad. Found this perfect LG. Like, it's even cheaper than the Vizio. only 2 HDMI ports.
Brunson rants on how he couldn't find his dream LG TV.
Bronson rants on, like, dude, television shopping now is a pain in the ass. Like, back in the day, it's just like, I want that size of TV and this type. Now it's like, I have so much shit to consider. So.
Yeah.
Do you want 4K? They'll probably ask
No.
that.
They probably will, and, like, those 4K Visios, those are, those are around, I guess.
Yeah, I'm considering, because the thing is, if I upgrade, I'll be going to at least a 55. And if I'm going to go with the Sony, I'm probably going to go with the Sony because I just prefer the Sony televisions. I'm going to go high-end. If I go high-end, I might as well get the 4K. Because I was looking, I can get a 55 Sony 4K, like, not their highest-end model, but I think it's like their second highest-end model. Their 55s you can get for like $1,500-$1,600. So...
that actually isn't bad.
Yeah.
Just Sony TVs are too pricey for me. Like I had trouble justifying it the first time I spent $1,100 on a TV. I can't do it again. Especially,
I just saw I like the Sony TVs.
I like fucking Sony TVs too. My current one's a Sony. I cannot like sit here and justify to myself that like, well, it's worth the extra money for a marginal upgrade in quality. Like that's kind of where I draw the line so far. Yeah, but that said, that could change.
But yeah, Samsungs are good too.
Yeah, Vizios are good TVs also. Like I'm on Best Buy's website now, and 240 hertz. Hello there.
I would definitely not go with a low end Vizio. If you go Vizio, you have to go high end.
Yeah, normally this thing, like $600, 50 inches, 240 hertz Vizio, that's probably a good TV.
Yeah.
And it has 4 HDMI ports. Gentlemen, I think I found the one. I don't know.
Yeah, once you get that hooked up,
we'll
be
have more TV conversation on the Gamecast this week, because
it's going to be like upgrading your console again.
No, well, I already noticed the difference because I play games on my PC either using the monitor in the front room or the monitor built into my laptop, and I definitely see the difference. Like I see the difference. It's just that like I've been waiting to pull the trigger. Like I want the same size television, and then I want I want the same size television, but I also want the most I'm willing to go is $800. Like that's as far as I'm willing to go. Which that means I'm basically looking for mid-range LGs and Samsungs and high-end Vizios.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, Strangling Don Matrix, something about Phil Spencer.
Oh yeah, that was it. Just the screenshot feature should be coming soon.
Cool. I'd like there's some. Now, if they can add some Facebook support with that, that'd be awesome. Moving forward, we only have one question, or comment or question. It's a long one. It's from Solid Kratos, and he made us a bunch of images. Hello, long time no here. Well, anyway, with the year ending, I simply want to first and foremost thank you guys for producing all the content you've posted this year, and it's been great, and I hope you guys grow more next year. Oh, yeah.
We appreciate it. Just keep supporting us and spreading the word.
Yep. Anthony, Nick, and I spend a lot of time thinking of ways to add shows, expand the site. It's why I'm 24 and have gray hair. This wasn't dyed, just going gray. All natural. Now, since this is the holidays, I'll keep this short. For this year, what is the game that surprised you most where you didn't think it was going to be good, but after getting your hands on it, you realized it was a fantastic game and vice versa? A game that I didn't think was going to be good that ended up being kind of fucking awesome.
For me, it was definitely Wolfenstein: The New Order. I have not liked a single Wolfenstein game. I actually thought they were all garbage. But people kept telling me, you gotta play The New Order, you gotta play The New Order. So I had GameFly. So let me just check out this New Order game. It's an amazing game. Definitely one of the top shooters of the year. Definitely in the top 3 shooters of the year without a question. It's an amazing game. If you have not played it, You gotta play it. It's awesome. Did any of you guys play it?
I got to play a little bit of the PC version. I thought it was really good. I liked it. I just wasn't in love with it.
I loved it. Such a good game.
For me, I knew this game was going to be good, but I didn't think it would make. I thought it'd be one of those games where like, yeah, that was good. Okay, moving on. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze was awesome. I really enjoy 2D platformers, and that was the first 2D platformer in years, like years and years and years and years, that I was just addicted to. I could not play enough of it until I beat it. The music was wonderful. It looked colorful and was fun to play. If you own a Wii U, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is well worth your time. It's not just this weird 2D platformer thing. It's a really great game. And it's also hard as hell. The game that surprised me the other way was Destiny. I was excited for Destiny. It was one of my most...
I think that was all our most disappointing game.
It did win most disappointing game of the year in our awards.
Yeah.
So, Destiny was a good game still. Like, I'm borrowing Anthony's copy right now since I sold mine because my friend Quinn's been wanting to play. But, even then, I'm just not super into it. Anthony, you?
Games that I thought I wouldn't like but were surprised that I like?
Yeah.
I guess I can't think of one. I'm like looking at the wall of games right now.
Did you say like Bayonetta generally, like you really liked it? Like
I didn't walk into it thinking it was bad or anything or kind of meh.
Well, I didn't think that I did the same thing with Donkey Kong. Like I went into it thinking kind of meh, and it ended up being my number 3 game of the year.
I think like the two that come to mind is probably Bayonetta 2 and Yakuza 4. Because Yakuza I just bought for like
Well, he said last year.
Last year. Okay. Yeah, it would have to be Bayonetta 2. Because it was like the only game I could think of last year where I just wasn't really expecting like too much. It was just like, oh, Brunson says this game is great. Let's see how it is, and then I'm just like wowed completely.
Well, yeah. See, that's where my situation is different because with Wolfenstein: The New Order, I seriously thought people were smoking crack at that this Wolfenstein. Because, like I said, I've played 2 or 3 of the other Wolfensteins and hated every single one of them. But the New Order I just fell in love with. The story's good. The character's good. Oh, it's so good. I love that game.
One honorable mention for mine on that. I was excited for this game, but I thought it would be kind of something that I play on and off and would kind of forget after a while. Hearthstone. Hearthstone Heroes of Warcraft is a card game. And one, it's probably the best goddamn card game ever made since Magic the Gathering, including Yu-Gi-Oh! And 2, I'm considering buying a fucking iPad partially because of that game, just so I can play it on the go. Like, this game, it's because, like, it's gotten popular in the esports community. It's like the 3rd most streamed game on Twitch. Like, this is one of the best free-to-play games of all time. If you have not played Hearthstone, Anthony, I encourage you to go play it. Anthony, I'm saying you should play Hearthstone.
Hey, I think the best card game ever was Eye of Judgment. Stop hating.
You know what?
Remember that game?
Yeah, and when that technology was announced, I thought it'd be really cool if they did a Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic the Gathering version, and it never happened. Like, how awesome would it have been to put, like, Anthony, you and I played a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! Every now and then. Imagine playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Where the PlayStation Eye reads the cards and they come to life on the screen.
Imagine the cheesiness right there.
They should have known better because I remember with Eye of Judgment, they were trying to sell cards and expansion packs. All people would do is print out the code. There's websites where you just print out the code and print out a sheet of paper, so then you can lay it down and it comes to life as if you had the real card.
Yeah, like the thing is, with like Yu-Gi-Oh, how awesome would that have been? It would have been cheesy, but like Anthony, like imagine like that moment if I would have actually got that Mirror Force in a video game. It would have just been like, oh, you think you're gonna win? Whoop! And you have to see it on screen. I think that would have been cool. Card games with me are very up and down. Like I wasn't big on Magic the Gathering, really like Yu-Gi-Oh! And this, like I said, Hearthstone is addictive as hell. Anyone who gives Hearthstone a chance, and like I have found that they come away liking it. Anyway, moving forward, Do you guys have any holiday traditions with your family, and does it involve video games? Personally, every Christmas Eve when my family meets, we'd always play Smash Brothers together before having dinner, which is a fun thing I love doing. Um,
Well, I went back home and we eat a lot and a lot of Christmas music and stuff, but nothing gaming related though. No.
my mom and I, when my dad was alive, we used to bake cookies and do a lot of baking. Like like during the holidays, I fucking just bake so much, which is amazing because which one thing that astounds me is I did all that fucking baking and didn't put on any weight. Like that was my goal going into the holidays. Like I've dropped 37 pounds so far total, since after E3 last year. I'm down to the 250s. And my goal going into the holidays was like, okay, you know you aren't going to lose weight, just don't fucking put any on. And I accomplished that goal. Yeah. Granted, I still have 57 pounds to get where I want to be, but still. Anyway, as for traditions, we bake cookies, go to a really, really judgmental dinner with my grandparents. On my dad's side, my grandparents. Well, my dad's parents divorced, so my grandparents are divorced and married new people. My grandfather, those are the judgy ones. My grandmother, she travels the country, and we typically don't see her during Christmas, but she's awesome. Anyway, as for video game related ones, I don't get to see my cousins from back east very often. But what I do during the holidays, we play Rampage 64. And Smash. Smash makes it in too. So does Mario Kart. Lots of N64 games, because that's kind of that's what we played as kids, and I still have it, so we'll go and play those games. What about you, Anthony?
Traditions?
Yeah, for the holidays.
But it's just, yeah, it didn't. Traditions that involve games, not really.
I remember my dad and I would get new releases, this is when my father was alive, where I'd get new releases, he'd sit and watch me play them, and if they're multiplayer, he'd play them with me. But, I remember in, '06, I got Madden '06, and we, played Madden fucking for hours. Oh, I remember I got Oblivion the last Christmas he was alive, and he just found it funny when I got lost in the forest. Anyway, Anthony, continue.
Yeah, that's all I really had to say, honestly.
All right, moving forward. Lastly, it may be weird, but what is your New Year's resolution? Okay, what is your guys?
Save money.
Oh.
For me, it's saving money because I bought a PS4 and all those games last year, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, try not to spend too much. Just, finish Dragon Age, play some other various games that you never really got around to finishing, stuff like that.
Yeah, for me, this is gonna sound really cheesy, but I'm not big on New Year's resolutions. If I want to change something, I usually change it regardless where in the year it is. But I guess my New Year's resolution would be to be more successful this year than last year.
Let's see. Mine are to keep TGA growing at an even faster pace, and get us where we want to go eventually, and to at minimum drop another 40 pounds.
Oh yeah, I thought people saying New Year's gaming resolutions.
Oh, New Year's gaming resolution?
I thought that was the question. That's why I'm like, oh wait, now my resolution just looks like complete garbage compared to everyone else's. Yeah, I don't normally do resolutions, honestly, because anything can happen in the year that makes your plan change. But things I usually try to do is
that's why it's good to have really Oh, I actually have a third one. Tori and I made a resolution together that we are going to get you guys a comic every week. So, yeah, you got one coming this Saturday, which is tomorrow, and we've already written the one after that, and it's being drawn right now. So, yeah, that goal is well on its way. Anyway, Anthony, go ahead.
Yeah, I normally don't do resolutions, and if I do, they're usually very small. Ones that are easy to get done. like for example, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna try and finish those games this year, and yeah, just staying healthy. Small things.
I know at E3 this year, I'm apparently eating an entire cake on camera.
Good luck.
Good luck. That's a thing. Yeah, Nick, you didn't hear about that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that's a conversation that went on Facebook for me, Kyrie, and a couple of our fans. Apparently, Kyrie and I are each both eating entire cakes on camera. So that's a video we have to do. Sunday night, we're gonna have to stop by a bakery. And get 2 circle cakes.
The only thing I'm saying you guys have to do on the last night because you guys do not need to be getting sick.
Oh, okay. Fine,
that is something you guys can do the last night.
The last night, you on the way back to wherever we need to go, Anthony, you need to stop by a bakery, okay? We need to stop by a bakery and get 2 circle cakes.
Because you guys are not gonna do that and then be throwing up and feeling sick.
Oh, I'd be fine. You underestimate my power. All right, so continuing, he has little things for each of us. Bronson, thanks for getting me to Persona. It's a great series, and happy holidays. Yeah, Persona's great. Anthony, thanks for all your hilarious moments with your car sale examples. You truly are a car guru. You're almost done with college. I'll be rooting for you. Enjoy your rest from finals.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kyrie's not here, but Kyrie, thanks for all your great videos. Never change. You're awesome. Last but not least, Nick, thanks for making this awesome website. None of this would be possible without you.
Thank you.
Also, Bremen, not here, but personal thanks for all your amazing art and hope to see more of it. And, of course, thanks and happy wishes to the new staff, John, Tori, and Stephanie. Sorry, no art. Had to hurry to get this post up. John, stay classy. Tori and Steph, you're awesome artists. Hope to see more. Good luck in art school. Yeah, I'm sure they all appreciate that. I know Kyrie saw that, and she told me that she thought it was awesome. Yeah, you're definitely going to see more art from Bremen in the coming weeks. We have some plans for him. Tori has been officially moved over to comic duty with me, so you're going to see a lot more of her stuff. Stephanie is working on a surprise for you guys. It's going to be awesome when it's done. John and I are pretty much the full-time writers. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Anything that you guys want to say to that one?
No, we appreciate it. Just keep us supporting and spreading the word.
Yeah, you should tell us about everyone. And if you go to a con, you should tell everyone at that con. Yeah. Is that it? We're good. That's all we have.
I think that's it. Wow, we are back with Unscripted Access, and it's a long one. It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
I have not turned on the space heater in my room, and my room is freezing right now.
But all right, guys. Thank you guys for listening. We haven't had Unscripted Access in a couple weeks, but hopefully we made it up with this mammoth of an episode.
So we got
like 4 hours long, probably.
We started at 9, so it's almost, yeah.
It was 4 hours long.
Yeah. So hold on. We got comics posted this week. The Gamecast is out. Go listen to that shit. We got we got so much. We got 60-minute access of Halo. We got 60-minute access of Citizens of Earth coming up. We got fucking what else? There's something else that I'm missing here. Oh, Bronson Rants. What the Hell and Bronson Rants are gonna be rotating week to week. And also every Saturday we are gonna try and live stream from now on. So this week it is John and Bremen doing GTA 4. Or not GTA 4, Jesus. GTA 5. The week after, I don't know, I'm thinking about doing Hearthstone, or actually I'm considering doing Heroes of the Storm because it just went into beta. So yeah. Go follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. Share us on Facebook and Twitter. We're on YouTube. We're fucking everywhere. Go share us. iTunes. Give us 5 stars.
Sweet. I think that wraps it up. All right, guys. Thank you guys for listening. We will be back. We are back on a weekly schedule, so you will see the show weekly now. Thank you guys for listening. We are out.
Bye. We love you.
Bye.